Hello, everybody. This is Talking Smit, Season 2, Episode 1, and I'm here with Nicco.
Hello, everyone.
So, Nicco, first question I ask everyone: who are you, where are you from, and what do you do?
Okay, so I'm Nicco Lupen. I'm Italian, although it's like 12 years that I'm missing my country. Actually, I moved to Spain for 8 years and now almost 5 years living in Prague. So I'm a gypsy mostly. Yeah, was born in south of Italy and raised in Milan. And I'm a aspirant producer.
Mm. So, how did you end up in Prague?
I ended up in Prague because my niece, back then I had only one, because basically I come from a very large family. Like my mom has 7 brothers, so lost track
Okay,
of.
fair enough.
Yeah, lost the
Classical Italian family.
classical southern Italian family. And honestly, like when I came here for the 4th birthday of my niece, and basically I realized that she has basically my brother, my sister-in-law, so the parents, and a grandmother. For her is the babichka, is the grandma. And I said, dude, like she miss also like this figure that eventually will make her do what parents forbid. But at the same time having an eye on her,
Yeah.
So she missed actually that ankle figure, and it was already 8 years living in Barcelona. So I said, okay, like it's eventually time to move.
Mm-hmm.
And nothing. I moved here. A couple of months later, I took the decision, and it was actually the perfect time because when I moved here, my sister-in-law said, "Okay, cool, because there is another one coming." So like I got the
All right.
second niece.
That's productive.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I've been living in Prague for like 5 years now. Almost 6. In April it will be 6 years. Jesus.
Okay.
And my Czech is still absolutely horrible.
Mine too, man. I mean, like, I have write down
Yes.
the things for surviving, and yeah, like, and it will be 5 in January. So
It's nice. It's a good place to be. So I know Nicco from my humble open mic on Tuesdays. And he one day walked in, grabbed out his bass guitar and went mental on it. So,
yeah, actually, it was the first venue I played here in Prague. It was literally the day after I moved here. I was at work and they asked, like, guys, do you know a place where to play? And Pierre told me, like, there's an open mic. It was still at Bariton.
Yeah. Oh, good old days.
Yeah, man.
I love that place. Yeah, actually, a good bar, Uhabasku, now moved into that building.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I saw that it changed quite. Like it has a few
there,
names.
there used to be like a studio in it or something. I don't know what they did there, but I walked past it when I had to catch my tram
Mm-hmm.
when I lived in Orabitska. But it's a nice place.
Yeah, it was really cool actually.
It's actually way smaller than you remember. I was there like a few weeks ago at a birthday party of a friend of mine, and I walked down into the downstairs, and I'm like, this looks tiny. Like in my memory, it was way bigger, but
Well, it wasn't that small as you say, because I mean, like, I I remember like crowded jam sessions there, and still like it wasn't like it wasn't
Yeah.
claustrophobic, So, and I know I always loved these places where you have the underground, like
Yeah.
what was Bike Jesus or
Mhm.
Saturnine, back then. And I really like those places where you have the stairs going down and
Well, yeah, Žižkov is a good area to be in if you like those kind of
yeah.
things, because everything is basically in the basement.
Yeah.
So when did you start playing bass or music in general?
So music in general, I was 7. So that means in 1993, I started with like the first instrument was a keyboard, because Santa Claus the year before brought me a keyboard. I just dropped it once, like, I would like to have a keyboard, and Santa made me happy.
He knows for some reason, yeah.
And I played it till I was 14, because then I made my first band. I built up my first band when I was around 13, and it was like a punk band, like cover, of course, and it was like a drummer, singer, guitarist, and me. So, like, I was like the useless instrument for a punk band, and we badly need a bass player. And back then it was like you could easily find gold on the street, but not a bass player.
Yeah. I think that's still an issue nowadays.
I think that nowadays
it's drummers or bass players that they need usually.
Yeah, but I think that nowadays more and more people are playing bass. Like, it's finally getting the respect that deserves as instrument. And I saw a lot of people used to play guitar and switching on bass. And so I think that nowadays it's not that complicated to find bass player. I remember back then, literally, like, it was no one wanted to play
yeah,
bass.
because it's not like the cool instrument.
Exactly. So, like, put yourself in my shoes. I switched from a keyboard to a bass, bass guitar. So, but I remember that it was my instrument. Like, it was like the bass found me, and not me finding the bass, because it was more for the necessity, like what the band needed. But for me, first of all, I always had, like, my superheroes are guitarists, actually. So, like, I always played like this air guitar, like, I always, was in my sleeping room, like, doing like this. So for me, moving from an instrument that it was on a stand and hanging my own instrument, it was already, like, super cool. And it was super natural, actually. I remember that when I knew that I would get the bass for that Christmas, so Santa Claus basically is providing me instruments. And so, I knew already that I would get the bass. I didn't have the bass yet, but I had an acoustic guitar at home. And I consider that I didn't know shit about bass, like, literally. So the first things I learned is that it has the same tuning as the guitar. And I was so unused to string instruments that instead of removing the last two strings on the guitar, because I didn't need it, I just pulled them out, like, rudely, like, bah! So I got my 4 strings on the guitar and tuned it somehow. And so I said, okay, let's practice a bit. And I remember that the first album I practiced on, it was the self-entitled Rage Against the Machine album. And it starts with bomb track. Dun, 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 dun. And, like, I wasn't attempting, like, I put my fingers there and they were on the right spot. And I said, it can't be. It can't be this easy, like, I'm doing something wrong. So when I got the bass, I repeated myself, like, I put the album, I said, okay, now I have a bass, I have an amp, tune the bass, and dun, 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 dun. So, okay, that's easy. And so I tried more songs, and they were easy, like, so I know, like, it was literally like I really love the instrument, like the sound, what you can do with, and again, like, I now can be on a stage and and carry on my instrument, and it's super cool.
Do you think your piano training helped you and being able to understand how the scaling of a bass guitar works?
Not in that way. Consider that I'm not ashamed to say it in the camera, but I learned the notes on the neck a couple of years ago. I did, like, a lot of stuff on my bass, not knowing what I was playing, and Here in Prague, it's when I start to participate in a lot of jam sessions and open mics. In Italy or in Spain, I was more on bands, you know. So you have your own track or you're doing some cover, but you know your piece. While when you're jamming, even if they're cover, you don't know which cover the singer is going to pick up or the guitarist will pick it up. So especially in the jam sessions, when people started to do the alpha, for me it was an alphabet, you know, like G, B, A minor. I was panicking, you know. So I still had to keep, you know, like the cool phase, you know, just play. Just, I got
this, yeah.
And so one day I said, okay, it's time. After 20 years playing, mostly, you know, I have to know what I'm doing, and actually it wasn't that difficult. So the keyboard actually developed my ear, because even with the keyboard, consider that I suck with the keyboard. You know, like the thing is, I learned how to play with one hand. So with the right hand, I could do whatever. And after 2-3 years, I find out that you have to use also the left hand for the chords. You know? So the thing is, like I was doing only melodies with the right hand. So that actually helped me on the bass in terms, first of all, on developing my hearing. That it's something that, I mean, if you don't know how to read the music sheet, you have to have the hearing.
Yeah.
And secondly, it developed more the, you know, like I don't define myself like the classic bass player giving the solid bass, you know, like I'm more melodic, and you know, like some people don't like it, for example. Some people say, man, too many notes. Yeah, but that's my style.
Yeah.
You know?
I have it with some drummers sometimes. Like I play drums myself, not very good, I know. I never had any lessons. I cannot do double bass. I cannot do like crazy hi-hat things. I can just keep a beat and just play that beat and have the easiest fill in between, and that's it,
Man,
right?
Ringo Starr built his career on that.
But sometimes, like I've seen a lot of people play because I host an open mic, and sometimes you have drummers where the people jamming would just like the drummer to keep the beat. But these drummers play a bit, and then they have a crazy fill-in, and they fuck up the groove, or their timing is off, and then basically the whole jam kind of like crashes down into like the abyss, and it all like derails basically.
Yeah, I know what you mean. That's the thing. Like that's something that I learned here in Prague. Within the year, it's something that I really learned how to jam. And most important, I understood that you can have great players that they are not made for jamming. You know, that sometimes I found myself on a stage when people were doing crazy changes, too many changes, you know, and I was like, dude, keep it simple, you know, like you're not playing alone.
Yeah,
you're playing with, you know, like other musicians, and you cannot change and you know, like, and expecting that people knows when you're changing, what you're doing next, you know.
It's about communication as well, you know. It's like, because I play the drums, I always look at everyone on the stage. Like, what are we gonna do? Are we gonna continue? Is this the ending? Is like, what's gonna happen?
The never-ending jazz.
Yeah. That's actually how I got playing drums, because I hosted an open mic in the Netherlands at our community center. And one of my friends is like, David, can you play the drums? It's like, I have no idea, mate. And like, oh yeah, try. You know, it's like, he started just with guitar. Okay, play some drums, right? Like, okay. And then, out of nowhere, comes like the most famous guitar player of our town, right? Guy is phenomenal. Like, he plays in a Led Zeppelin tribute.
Whoa.
That guy. And he started playing guitar, right? And I'm like, yeah, now I have to continue playing because I cannot interrupt this epic guitar stuff that's happening, right? So, first time playing, I played like 45 minutes and I was completely fucking done. I was like, my arms were hurting because I have no technique whatsoever. Like, blisters on my hand, you know.
Yeah, like that.
But then I was like, yeah, this is something fun to do, you know. It's like, and yeah, I'm not really good at it, but I enjoy myself, so fuck you. Like,
yeah, the thing is, Yeah, like as you say, like at the open mic, for example, on Tuesday, or like on Sunday. So anyway, there's a lot of people here playing a lot of instruments, like, and for me it's just bass.
Yeah.
Like that's what I can do, and I know, like I'm a really old school guy in general, like, so for me it's more like, like I'm loyal to my instrument, like I tried actually, and this is when I understood, like, really, like, the love I have towards the bass, because some years ago, 5, 6 years ago, I bought myself an electric guitar, small amp, and I was paying a friend to give me some classes, and it simply didn't work, like, I love the instrument. I mean, like, as I told you, like, my superheroes, musically talking, are mostly guitarists, like, I started to play music because Brian May, and my number one hero is John Frusciante, so they're all guitarists, and so I always wanted to, like, learn how to play guitar, and never worked. And after a couple of months, like, practicing on guitar and everything, I just came back to my bass, and like I'm sorry, and I don't know, even when I bought myself a 5-string bass guitar, I had it like 6 months, and then I sold it out, because, like, no, for me it's for the 4-string bass, like, it's a P bass. It's not even a jazz one. It's a P bass. It's, I don't know, like, I have really this bonding with.
Yeah. I mean, I saw your quarantine posts with your bass guitar. It was pretty funny. I make some music myself for fun. I don't know what key I'm in. I don't know. Technically, I don't know what I'm doing. I know how to produce a song. I'm more of the recording, mixing, engineering kind of guy, without playing any instrument. I think for me that helps, because I can mix something objectively, and I don't favor any instrument over the other. Sometimes when you have a sound engineer that's also a musician, in the mix you can hear which instrument he plays.
Yeah.
Because that will be the dominant one in the mix. And I'm like, your job is to balance everything evenly, and not have like a loud guitar and the rest is kind of like chilling in the background. Like,
yeah, it's actually, fuck. It reminded me the first demo I ever recorded with my band. I was like 16, so like we were young.
What did you record on at that time? Because now everything is computers and stuff.
No, back then I was already playing a bit with Reason, but I had literally nothing.
Reason's been around forever.
Reason, man, I knew, like, the first time I heard about Reason, I was 16, 15, 16, because in the village, when we moved to Milan, we weren't living in the city, we were living in the periphery, and back then I was punk, like, like with broken jeans, chains,
loads
spikes.
of buttons on your jacket.
Yeah, exactly. And like, at that age, in that area, you could find one punk guy over 10,000,
Yeah.
And in that village, we were basically 2 people listening to punk. So, like, he was a bit older than me, so he was passing me, like, some mixtapes and so on. And for me, it was like the cool guy was playing guitar in a punk band, skating, and so on. And one day, I met him. It was like a long time I didn't met him, and I said, "Oh man, I will play tonight, like the next village, basically. Stop over." I said, "Okay." And they were playing like hardcore, but Rotterdam hardcore. Like, doo, 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 doo.
Oh yeah.
And it was like him and another guy with 2. It was like fuck, I don't remember what was the name. Something ending with box. It was a Kong. It was like a 2-octave keyboard,
Mm-hmm.
but had everything there. He had a built-in drum machine. It was like a kind of synthesizer,
Yeah.
And they were playing live. And I was shocked, like it was so, like powerful. And and I was seeing this guy and this fellow basically having so much fun,
Yeah.
So the day after I met him, like, man, I said, yeah, man, I discovered, I signed up for a music school, and you should download Reason, it's a simulator of machines and blah, blah, blah. So he passed me the program. And, like it was kind of funny because but I had nothing. I just had the mouse.
Yeah.
So that demo actually was with the band, like I was playing already bass for a couple of years. We had this band. I have really great memories from that day because that's the thing. Like we had moneyless, we had nothing. So we were saving up and waiting for those of like there were these studios that sometimes were dropping this offer like 12 hour,
Mm-hmm.
300 euros.
That's a good.
But in 12 hours, you have to play, record,
have to do
mixing,
everything in
and master.
those
Yeah, you
12
will go
hours.
out with the CD. And so we were there, with the band, we were playing. And on the first break, we went out, and all of our friends, we had a large group friends of, and they were all there, like to spend the day with us. So it was really cool. But during the mixing and mastering, I remember that I fell asleep on the couch, and I don't remember what was, but it was another instrument, like another player that had to go. Maybe I don't remember if it was for working or something, but he had to leave. So we got the CD, and I was so pissed about the sound of the bass, and my guitarist told me like, next time you won't fall asleep on the couch, dude. So it was like, what the fuck, man? I said, yeah, like if you will be awake, you will, like.
You will hear it and be able to say something about it.
Exactly, but yeah, it was like so compressed. So I don't know, a lot of bass and no treble. It was really.
Yeah,
dark.
I like some treble in the bass.
Me too.
Because
actually.
I know it's like a low frequency instrument, obviously, because it's the name, it's bass. But there's a lot of details in the higher spectrum as well, like the
Yeah.
pickups and like.
Yeah, I usually use so if you want to steal, guys. No, but I usually put like the treble 3/4, and the bass just like at I don't know, like 2 o'clock, and the middle like 1/4 only. Like, and I really love this punch sound. Like it because you can do. I find out, like that you can really play a large spectrum of music with that setup. Like you can play punk, you can play, like this crossover. You can play funk. Like it's. I'm not a jazz, but I'm not so skilled to play jazz, so I don't care about jazz.
Jazz is it's a thing you either like or you hate. I don't think there's like someone that's I kind of like jazz a little. It's like no, people are like totally into jazz or not at all, because it's pretty complicated to listen to.
Yeah.
For me, that is the same as like it kind of bores me out very quickly. And like just I know you're a good musician. You don't show off like this.
I know, like for me, I have some jazz record at home, and sometimes like I like to like you're drinking your I don't know, like cup of whiskey, and so like I put it there. But yeah, it's something that I listen from time to time, like and I don't like this very complicated one, like I like the jazz sound for sure, and the mood. But yeah, when it starts to be too much, for example, that's the same reason I don't like Dream Theater, for example. Like it's just too much, and for the same reason I love, for example, Nirvana. Like 3 chords.
Mm.
3 chords, you know, keep it simple.
That's a good song.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, there's something to say about everything, of course, and it depends on the mood. Best jazz record ever made, in my uneducated opinion, is the soundtrack to SimCity 3000.
Mm-hmm.
Like the soundtrack on that is basically mostly jazz, but it sets the mood while you're building your city and you don't know what you're doing and you lose a lot of money and you fail at the game. I loved playing SimCity and I was never good at it. It's like,
I was playing with that when I was a kid. I don't know why, but it's something that I found that I'm not alone in this. If you were
Yeah.
building the city, and then you were calling Godzilla or the tornado,
Yes,
like you were
yes,
building the
yes.
city to destroy the city. Like,
it's like,
and I
Can-
never
can-
understood why. Actually
can I let
they
the
put-
nuclear power plant explode? Maybe I can.
Yeah.
Like put fire stations everywhere except around the freaking nuclear power plant. You know?
Exactly,
Yeah.
and that's the thing. Like, I never understood actually why they put these features. You know, like why it's built.
Because-
Like,
Because they want to have fun. Like it's a classic, of course, and the people that made it also just loved fooling around with it because it's one of the earliest computer games
Yeah.
that ever got released, I think, and it's still going on today. You know, so
yeah. It's
it's fun. I'm going to grab another beer.
yeah.
And I
ask
can-
you one too.
Yeah, and I can give this a cut in post. I'm not gonna pause it because then the editing becomes way more.
Okay.
There you go.
Thank you.
Oh, jeez. Don't sit on my microphone. Alright, and then let's give it a clap. Clap. There I go. Alright. Talking about computer games. Do you like video games? Or you're like, yeah, not my thing?
I do, and when I was a kid, my brother had Commodore 64. That was my very first. I remember like the first video game ever I said it was at home. It was Arkanoid,
Oh, yeah.
you know, and it was on Commodore 64. So you know, like you had the tape with the games.
Yes.
And you had to remember actually the counter. You had to write down the counter because you had
Yeah.
4 or 5 video games per side.
Mm-hmm.
So if you wanted to play the third game, you need to know exactly like what number, you know,
Yeah.
like okay, 200. So you have to forward the tape, 200 play, and waiting. You know, like that's the thing. Before it was normal. Now I think that I would die on the waiting because you know, like it's loading, and then you have to type actually the command load, and wait for it and hope that the game will start.
And then like the sounds it makes, like the old computers, like
I love-
it's
Yeah,
like,
but-
oh yes.
But I love the sound of the video game, like 8 and 16-bit games. You know, like I really love that. Actually, my ringtone is the Tetris.
Tetris.
Song. Yeah.
Here we go.
Yeah.
I should have worn my Tetris T-shirt.
This is.
I was thinking about it. I don't have it on me now. I have this weird T-shirt that my sister gave me.
Yeah, that my brother gave me.
Yeah. So
But this is. I'm not lying. This is my ringtone.
yes. That's
I
cool.
really love this. This was 8-bit.
Yeah. I have it on my Game Boy.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Me too. And I'm still playing it actually.
Mm.
And
I'm like the idiot that plays Tetris at least once a day.
Yeah, actually, before the COVID, I had it at work. And you know, when I was getting stuck on some case or whatever, you know, like I was just turn it on and just disconnect, you know, like and play. I usually die around level 11 or 12, and then I was coming back to work.
Did you ever see like those professional like world championship Tetris player? They
No.
start at level 19.
No, to be honest,
It's like it is impressive. It's like
that,
and they play like the NES Tetris, right? Like the classic,
yeah,
like no freaking next box, no nothing, right? It's just like
the arcade one, like
it's just the Nintendo version.
No, the
And
thing
it's
is,
just really good. It's like they are so good at the game, and they see what the next piece is, and they already know where to
Where
place
to
it
go,
before it's
yeah.
there, right? It's like
yeah. No, to be honest, that's something that I you know, like, I love to play. I don't like to watch people playing. You know, like I have a lot of friends that they spend hours, you know, on YouTube seeing this game streaming. Like, but for me, it was like even when I was a kid, I couldn't. You know, like I told you, like we come from a big family, so sometimes it happened. I was there with a cousin. I just can't stand waiting for my turn. You know, like I want to play, dude.
Yeah.
So yeah, and so that's the thing. Like I switched from Commodore 64 to Amiga 500. I really loved the games in there. Like they were crazy. And the first console I had actually it was already the PlayStation 1. You know, like I never had the Nintendo. I never had a Mega Drive. So what I'm doing now, I'm buying them. So now I have like the Super Nintendo. I have the Sega Mega Drive. I have the PlayStation 1. And
There's some crazy game libraries on like those
yeah.
old school consoles, because I do have an NES in the basement, but I need to fix it. I think I need to get a new 12-pin connector and replace it because it's not reading the games. Brilliant condition. Got it from my uncle. Like I was visiting my uncle. He's like, "Does anybody want a Nintendo with Super Mario?" And my mom was like, "No." And I was like, "Yes." And mom was like, "Why?" It's like, "Because it's a freaking Nintendo. It's Super Mario."
Yeah.
It's like, and a boatload of other weird games. I do have a PlayStation 4 as my main console right now. I have the SNES Mini that Nintendo reissued, and I have the Sega Mega Drive Mini.
Yeah, that's what I have. Like when I said before, it are the mini series.
And it's great.
Yeah.
Like the amount of great games they put on that Sega one, it's like, what the fuck, guys?
Exactly. Like why in the PlayStation Mini, in my opinion, to be honest, I bought it for 2 games only. Destruction Derby. It was my very first game I played on PlayStation.
Nice.
And GTA, the original one. That's why I bought that PlayStation. And of course, I mean, like you have nice title like Tekken 3.
Yeah, but it's not really.
But they miss a lot.
I mean, they call it like the PlayStation Classic, but they left out most of the classics.
Exactly. You know, like I was waiting, I don't know, for Crash Bandicoot, Spyro. You know, like they were in every damn demo. You know, like the demo they were, and they missed it. Like they weren't there.
They just want to make a quick buck.
And while with the Super Nintendo, they put some classic, and again, like they put aside some other classic. With the Mega Drive, in my opinion, the only game it's missing is Moonwalker from Michael Jackson.
Yeah, that is.
I love that game.
That's good.
I love that
That is
game.
good.
With the
And you can say about Michael Jackson what you want. I still love the guy. It's like unguilty unless proven guilty. Well, yeah, he's not proven guilty. And you have the whole documentary that I didn't watch.
Me neither. I had a friend who watched it and advised me to watch it. To be honest,
Well, also it's really long. What is it, like 3.5 hours or something? It's a long documentary, you know.
Yeah, I mean, like it's a very delicate topic, kind of very delicate artist. So I know, like I guess the 3.5 hour are anyway short for this kind of. To be honest, I don't know. Like I'm not a fan of Michael Jackson music, I have some songs that for me are incredible, but generally, like I'm not a huge fan of Michael Jackson music. Although, I mean, like,
I have every
I-
single album original
yeah, for me, I have the record
because
of
that's what I
Thriller.
grew up with. Like when I was 5 years old
Mm-hmm.
or like 7 years old, I believe the History album came out. It was like 1996 or something. And Earth Song came out, with the epic video that people should still watch today because we're still not changing anything to combat climate change. And he was like in 1996, like screaming about it, like, "You motherfuckers, we're fucking up the planet, what you doing?"
Yeah.
And now like it's 2020 and everyone's like, "Oh, I don't care, no. It's a hoax now, apparently."
Mm.
Even though we're here, it's September, what's the date? Let me see.
19?
It's the
20.
20th of September. We're outside on my balcony of my house. And the temperature is 18 degrees, max of 23 degrees at the end of
Oh.
September.
18 only? I thought it was more.
Yeah, that's the shadow temperature. But yeah, it's crazy September.
Yeah.
Sun is shining. Everybody's out in the parks.
Yeah.
Of course, keeping social distance. They don't.
Hopefully.
They don't really,
Hopefully.
unfortunately. So yeah, the whole COVID
We
lockdown
have 2
thing.
meters. We have, well, I don't know if there are 2 meters, but we are.
We're
Distant
really
enough.
keeping
Yeah, we're
a bit of
distant enough.
distance.
Yeah.
That's good. You see, stay safe. Stay safe.
Yeah.
That's what it's about. So, what did you think when the whole COVID thing hit? Because I remember, like, we were watching the news and it was in China. We're like, "Ooh, that shit fucked up in China." And then all of a sudden, I was like, "Hello."
I'm Italian, so I mean, we were the first
Oh, yeah,
country out
shit.
of China.
Yeah.
To be honest, so back then, I was one of those. Come on, it's nothing.
Mm.
Because like when we start to have the cases in Italy, they were putting the numbers of like infected people, and one day I was just running the percentages, and it was like 0.0 something, like the number of people infected. And so I have to admit it, like back then I was like, oh my god, like they're doing such a
Like they're going crazy over nothing.
exactly.
Pretty much, yeah.
Then it hit Italy, started to hit Italy badly. My parents were here. They came here for visiting and they got stuck here 3 months. And to be honest, I was pissed the way, like for the very first time, I've always been against racism. I never experienced it. Let's face it. I mean, like I'm a white Italian guy, and I never been, and in that period we were the disease.
Yeah.
Like I had a lot of friends, like that they weren't, like we had, I don't know, like something scheduled, and they were finding, like stupid excuses to don't meet, And at the beginning, it was like it was pissing me off because, dude, I mean, like it's not. I mean, I'm Italian, but it's like back then it was like 3 months that I wasn't going in there. And this, then like it started to like it escalated crazily in Italy. So now I'm actually I'm really careful. Like it's a thing, like it's there, it's dangerous, it's I know, like for me the craziest part is that I don't know, like if I will get it, like I will deal with that. Okay. For me the craziest part is how you can easily spread it. So every time I go to visit my brother, my sister-in-law, the kids, like I'm always like this, fuck, I'm fine, okay. So I wouldn't go if I would sneeze once, like man, let's say, like maybe it was just some dust, but But anyway, like you're always scared to fuck up some older people. That's what I'm most careful of. I get super mad when you see people in the metro with no mask or the mask covering the mouth.
Jesus Christ.
Like it's dude.
Come on, people. It's not that hard. If you think you have it difficult with a mask, try to be like me. I wear glasses permanently.
Say the same.
It's very uncomfortable.
Yeah.
If your glasses fuck up all the fucking time.
Even though
then I'm like, I don't care. It's a mask. And it's not an infringement of my freedom.
No,
I wear it to get back to normal as quickly as possible.
Yeah, that's something that I can't understand. Really, I tried my best. I still can't understand this craziness about, like it's against it's unnatural. It's against my freedom. It's what the fuck are you talking about, dude? Like
people are. On average, people are stupid. That's the problem.
Yeah.
And now they're in their Facebook groups with people that think the same, so they're in a bubble.
Yeah.
They reinforce their beliefs. It's like, yeah. It's a real disease. My sister had it. My stepfather most probably had it as well. Like, it's not a nice thing to have.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can say, oh, it's a mild case. Yeah, but if you take 3 steps and you're out of breath already, not very cool. It's like
no, and plus, I mean, like the thing is, we don't know yet what would be long term. Like if it gives you some, like some shit in 2 years, if it's like impacting you permanently somehow, So I don't know, but really, like I can't understand why these people believe that it's like this complex shit, and even less I don't understand, like, man, it's not that, I mean, like, I'm not a genius, I'm not a politician or anything, but for me it's just so easy to, you have like the controller for the tickets, right? Put them 2 in every entrance of the metro. You put 2 of them just to be sure that the guys put on the mask. If you don't have the mask, well, I'm sorry, take another, like, take a walk.
It literally happened on the airline I work for. It was like a Dutch guy, and he was on the plane and had his mask on his freaking chin. So the stewardess is like, yeah, put on your face mask. And he's like, first of all, I don't need to do anything. Second of all, blah, 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 blah. Okay. Fucking captain comes out, right? Say, okay, wear a face mask. It's like, I want your name, because I'm gonna sue you. What happened is the guy got removed from the plane.
Yeah,
like, yeah, you don't want to wear a face mask, that's fine, but you're in our plane, and it's our rules, and our rules is that you have to wear the face mask properly.
Exactly.
You don't want to? That's your freedom, but we have the freedom to kick you off the plane.
Yeah.
And good luck suing, because you're not gonna win it, because you agreed on the terms and conditions when you booked the ticket, right? It's like, it's a stupid issue, and he thinks he's like being like a rebel or a warrior. No, you're a fucking idiot. You're just being an asshole.
Yeah, and that's the thing. And for me, it's a pity here in Czech Republic, because I was so happy. At the beginning, they treated amazingly. Like they had 40 cases, no death, and they closed everything. It was the first country putting the, mandatory mask when you're going out and everything. And now they just screwed up everything. Like they're really, literally not caring that much, in my opinion. Like they're having crazy numbers.
Yeah, and now they put like stupid rules that don't make sense. And I think that's where a lot of the anger comes from people. Not as like it's my freedom. They're like, no, like the measures you're taking don't make sense. So I can go to a bar, but I cannot go to a bar after 12.
Exactly.
It's like because people don't go to bars before 12. It's like stuff like that. It's like, okay, I cannot do this, but I can be
events standing and sitting.
So I cannot be in an event with 100 people if we stand, but if we all sit, it's fine. That makes no difference in exposure, right?
Yeah.
So it's just the government showing like we're doing something,
Yeah, the thing
But
is,
then what they're doing is like,
we,
yeah,
we
come
have
on, guys.
elections soon, so that's
Yeah.
why, like the guy doesn't want to go for another lockdown or anything, and the problem is that they're in November.
Mm-hmm.
We are in September, and the cases are, I mean, in Italy we have the same number of cases that we are having here in Czech Republic, but we are testing like we're doing an average of 100,000 tests. Here are like around 10, 15,000. You have the same number of cases, dude. I mean, like, like try to test more and see how many cases you will have, and still they're doing shit about it. That's what really drives me crazy. So I'm, for example, like I don't know since how long I'm not going to, for example, a jam session or something, because I don't feel comfortable to, like be in a closed space. Well, you saw, like, even when you asked me to do this, you asked me like remotely, and I told you, like, if you're fine, then okay.
Yeah.
And like that's the same, like when I'm meeting my friends, first of all, I'm meeting them like in one or two, like I'm not meeting the group of friends. And still it's like, dude, are you 100% okay? Like it's because, and I know, for example, that if I know that someone went to a party, a crowded party, and we have to meet, then I would say, dude, like
maybe not
maybe
today.
next time,
Yeah.
because again, like I'm no one to tell you that you shouldn't go to a party, but like that's a freedom, but I have the freedom to also, taking it in my way. So
Yeah, exactly.
but I'm not surprised at all that we are facing something like that. I mean, like like people nowadays still, like I'm talking like about guys, for example, in my office, like in the office where I work, I saw people peeing and not washing their hands.
Yes.
So I remember, like at the beginning when it was only in Italy, like my mom was, and a bunch of Italians, were thinking that it was like some target attack against Italy. We are this, dude. We are literally like, we are microscopic, and so, like you start from the basics, like really, like, do you think that the whole world is complotting against us? Why? But besides that, I told my mom, like, literally, like, people here, and we have, luckily we have we have clean water, we have access to soap and everything. We actually waste a lot of water, when we take a shower and everything, and still we are not washing our hands, like before, I don't know, like before eat something, for example, or when after you go to pee, and this kind of stuff. And you're really surprised that we have a virus now that is killing us. I mean, like, and we have the chance.
It's pretty basic science.
Imagine the countries that can't really, like wash themselves. That's something that you have to face, and like, and yet, I mean, like, it's something that, well, they said it started in China, so let's talk about it, because we actually really don't know yet. I mean, like, late, but they admit to have cases there. But like now I was reading that in Italy, in December they had, like now all countries start to track it a bit, and in Italy they find out that in December they had weird pulmonitis, in US as well. So who knows where it started, when it started, and
and then you have like organizations like the World Health Organization that just didn't act on time. And now they're running behind everything. It's like, it's just weird, and I hope it all goes back to semi-normal sooner than later. But if I have to chill out at home and try to get good at Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2 that I bought, because I suck. I love the game, but I'm not good at it.
For me it was Cool Border. It was a great game, and I just can't, because I'm not. I mean, like, I never snow. So for me it was like, man, it's cool, but I don't know, what should I do. It's like NBA. I love NBA, but I suck playing.
It's like FIFA I can play, I'm not a football fan at all. I just don't care.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm from the Netherlands, so most people do care. But because back in the day we used to have a good national team.
Yeah.
They're getting better again, but
Yeah, exactly. Like,
they
in-
went like down very, very hard. It's like, holy crap.
take
It's
us.
like, what was it, 5 years ago they had to qualify for the, I believe, the European Championships. And the last game was against the Czech Republic. And I was the asshole Dutch colleague that was rooting for the Czech team.
Oh.
So I laughed
Yeah.
my ass off when the Czechs won. That was hilarious.
Oh,
Because I don't take football serious at all. So I joke about it. But some people take it way too seriously.
yeah.
And they don't like you making jokes about it.
Mm-hmm. No, for me,
It's like, oh, calm down, man. It's just a game. It's like, no, it's not. It's like, it actually is just a game, man. It's like,
yeah, I do love football, watching it. I mean, like, I suck playing game. When I was a kid, my mom used to say, dude, is the ball playing with you, not you with the ball? Is the ball running after you? I was escaping from the ball. And but I do love football. I'm Italian. I mean, like, it's something that you have in your DNA, I believe. But again, you know, I can be really passionate, especially if I'm watching a match with someone that is from the opposite team.
Mhm.
But you know, I never ended a friendship over there, and especially, I mean, like, after the 90 minutes, I mean, like, after the referee
Yeah. Blows the whistle, yeah.
blows the whistle 3 times. That's it. You know, you make a couple of jokes. You know, like, if you win, or you take a couple of jokes if you lose. And my team, unfortunately, use quite a lot, so I get used to. But that's it. Yeah, I never had this. You know, like, in Italy was especially in the 90s, it was crazy. You know, like that the ultras were, you know, like, waiting, you know, outside the stadium to, you know, like, fight and that's
Oh,
something-
yeah, the hooligan culture thing.
yeah, the hooligans, and that's something that I never understood, to be honest. You know, like,
Well, just idiots trying to find an excuse to fight.
yeah, mostly it's that.
Because, like, in Poland, you literally have people meet up in a forest from different football teams just to
Yeah.
beat the shit out of
the
each
Czech
other.
Republic as well.
I was like,
I-
okay. It's like, well, if that's your jam and you're not hurting anyone else, go for it. You know, it's like, I don't care.
Yeah,
Six-
I mean, like, if it's there.
But if you're gonna start, like, destroying property and shit, it's like, yeah, get the fuck out.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to get beat up, yeah, go to a forest, beat each other up. Have fun. But don't, like, destroy property that we pay for with our taxes, you know? Like,
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I'm not against this if it's for a right thing. You know, like, if you want to destroy properties because you are demonstrating against something, and it's, you know, like, it's a good cause, then do it. Because unfortunately, if you were just doing a demonstration, you know, like, if you take, for example, you know, like, a lot of people were complaining and using it against, you know, like, now the Black Lives Matters, you know, when they start to, you know, like, assault the
Yeah, yeah.
big stores and everything. And the thing is, dude, because they're doing this, it's having some resonance, you know, so that's, you know, like, maybe that's the reason why they're doing it, you know.
well,
like,
there's also, like, a big group of people just abusing the protests.
that's
to
for sure. That's for
fucking
sure. It's always been like
destroy
this.
stuff, you know?
It's always been like
Because
this.
I support the Black Lives Matter movement. Cheers, guys. I have some good friends that talked about it after, like, the George Floyd case. One of my good friends, Fedora, had a fundraiser, and I heard her speak about what it is like to be a black person
Yeah.
in that climate. And if you're not a black person in that climate, you pretty much don't understand why they're so mad.
Yeah.
But if you hear them speak about it and they explain it, that's the thing. Everybody that posts, like, All Lives Matter hashtags, talk to a black person from the US and talk to them, to listen. Not to reply, but talk to, listen and understand. Maybe then you get, like, a small part of the idea of why they're so fucking mad. and they have every right to be. It's like Jesus Christ.
Yeah. And I mean, like, again, like, you don't even need to hear some of them. I mean, like, you just read the news and what the clown Trump is, like how he treats like the facts, like that. When I mean, like, when all the riots started after the killing of George Floyd, like, I remember that few days later they launched the SpaceX.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and I'm a huge fan of this kind of stuff,
Yeah.
So I was there with my whole family, it was still during the lockdown, and I was there with my nieces, my parents, so at the second attempt, finally we could see the rockets going on, and then it was like the speech from Trump as well, like after the successful launch, and he spent literally like half of his time talking about what happened, and still, like, he was like against the demonstrations,
Mm-hmm.
like and then when a few weeks ago, when this guy killed these two people, like, it was, I don't know how young is the guy, I was there with the rifle,
Oh, yeah.
and he was defending him, like, he was like, maybe it was self-defense because eventually they will kill him. I mean, like, I saw the footage. It was like the guy throw like plastic bags on it. How you want to kill a guy with a plastic bag, dude? I mean, like, a plastic bag against a rifle,
Yeah, it's crazy.
and you're defending this dude. I mean, like, what the fuck is wrong with you? I mean, you're running what is so-called the most powerful country in the world. I mean, like,
Yeah.
that's scary. And I don't know, like,
Yeah.
maybe it's better to change topic.
There we go. That was the political section.
Yeah.
So, do you have other hobbies besides playing the bass?
Well, musically, actually, now I'm more into the production than not on playing bass. I mean, like, I'm a bass player. I still playing bass also in my production. So, but I'm more focused on like producing songs, like one-man job. Like, but so besides music, I have, well, playing video games. I love to do that. Photography. I love to shoot with film cameras. I really enjoy that. I love weed. I really like.
Who doesn't? Yeah, it's a shame my girlfriend is not here because she would definitely smoke one with us.
But I love tattoos.
Obviously, you have quite a few.
Yeah, still not enough.
Yeah, I still need to get started, But like, I love your little Pac-Man tattoo. I think it's really cool. Like,
yeah. That's the gaming, like the
Yeah.
tribute to the game, because actually, like, all my tattoos are tribute to, most
Whatever,
of
yeah.
them it's music, but I have books. I have
Yoda with headphones.
yeah.
That's well done, by the way.
movies.
Yeah, that's like-
Oh yeah. And crazy thing, like, the guy, he basically made it like he had the layout only,
Mhm.
with a stamp. All the like
Like the details and the-
it was all free.
Because the
freehand.
eyes look amazing.
Yeah.
I'm
And-
sorry you guys cannot see this up close, but like one day you're gonna meet Nicco in real life, and you'll be like, "Holy crap!"
Yeah.
Like
And
walking canvas,
Yeah, and
And
the
a-
color, right?
and
The
a
color is
tape
not the
player.
normal color. Yeah, this is actually. Oh, thanks for recognizing it. Like, it's like one of those
It's an
things
old
that
school tape player, right?
exactly. Yeah. It's the. But I have the play and the forward instead of, because usually you were pressing together rec and play,
Yeah.
and it was just play and forward. Like. But yeah. It's a passion that I have actually since I'm 8 years old or something like that. I remember seeing my uncle
Mm-hmm.
having two tattoos. One, it was the Rolling Stone mouth. I'm not a fan of Rolling Stone still nowadays. I'm not a huge. I don't like them.
I'm not a big fan, but I saw them live,
Mm-hmm.
like in 2009, 8 or something. That was the most exciting elderly home party I ever saw. It was
Okay.
crazy good. Like, for being that age and rocking that solidly,
Yeah.
it's impressive. Man. I know that's the only thing they're probably good at, right? That's the thing with most people that are really good at one thing. That's the only thing they're good at. It's like it's the only thing they can.
Again, like I can't really talk because I never, like I remember that like the most famous track. I don't know nowadays, but when I was a kid, it was like I can get no satisfaction.
Yeah, that's probably the most famous one.
And I, when I listen to it, it's like, like it's, people is getting crazy about this track, and for me it was like, I love Paint in Black. I really love the guitar riff there. But that's, again, like I have few tracks that I really like, but I'm not a Stone fan. So that, like, yeah, it was well done, but but he had a Snoopy. He had a Snoopy tattooed here, and I was 8 years old, so
That's great.
Exactly.
That's good.
And I remember, I didn't know what they were, like I didn't know they were tattoos or anything, for me it was just nice drawing on a body. So I told my mom, hey, I want to get one. And she slapped me, like under my head, And so I understood that's something that I couldn't do.
Yeah, and then you're like turning 18, and you're like, fuck it, let's go. When did you get your first tattoo?
I still have I still remember the exact day and year. It was like 25th of April 2005.
You see, that made like a lasting impression for sure.
No, I mean, like, okay. The thing is, the day is really easy to remember in Italy because it's the day of liberation, when we. Hey, dude, may I pat you this time because you kind of bit me before?
Yeah, for the people that you probably don't see it on the screen, but my dog just walked in.
So it was like, so it's really easy to remember as a day because it's the liberation from the fascists, 25th of April. So I was here in Prague actually because my brother was already living here, and it was the first time I was visiting him, and I got, I don't know if you can say it, but this one, Mano Negra. Yeah, it's a bit hard to say, but it was this one, and I remember promising my parents that it would have been the only one because I waited so long to get a tattoo, so that I would be happy to have that. I would be so happy that I wouldn't need anything else.
Yeah, and
that was April.
And then
8 months later, I was doing the second one, and then it was like a river flow.
Like a never-ending story.
Yeah. And I don't know, like
I love tattoos, but I just still don't know which one to get first. And I know I'm gonna be that guy that takes one, and then two, and then three, and then my girlfriend will hate me forever because she doesn't really like tattoos. But then again, she loves me, so she accepts me for who I am. I hope.
Yeah, to be honest, I mean, like for me, it was like because
I literally got to the point where both of my parents got tattoos earlier than I did, and they got them both like in the last 5 years.
Oh.
Like my mom has the names of her grandchildren, and my stepdad got me and my sister's name tattooed.
Okay.
In the same font as my mom has the other tattoo.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah, like they got it in Prague at the Bloody Blue Tattoo at Husitska.
Oh yeah.
My mom's like, wait,
I
that
got
tattoo.
pierced there
Do you know
once.
what place? He's like, I know this place, and the reviews are pretty good. And you just want a simple text thing, so it's not very complicated. And we could literally just walk in there and get it done. Like there was no waiting line or something. He's like, what do you want? This? Oh yeah, we can squeeze it in. It's like.
Well, next time send it to my sister-in-law. Advertisement moment.
Yeah. Plug it.
Yeah, like she's
Can you plug the name of the tattoo studio?
Of course, it's Mama Tattoo Prague. So it's kind of easy to remember. Mama Tattoo. And no, actually, I'm really impressed by her. Actually, yesterday I was speaking with my girlfriend about it. That, like less than 3 years ago, she made her first tattoo on
Mhm.
me, and it's on the leg because it was a really first tattoo ever. So she never took a machine before or anything. So I said, okay, let's do it on the leg.
Yeah.
Either. And since then, I mean, like, she's now going to open, like, she already has her studio, and now she's moving in Carlin, like at the beginning of next year. And it's kind of cool, like, to have those kind of examples in the family, because it's something that, like, she was working in the same company I do work, and then she started to tattoo, and now, then she dropped the job to dedicate herself on this. And now she's, like, now I always did this with her, like, I go in there with a bench of, with a folder of projects, like, I want this here, this there, this here, this there, you will tell me when. And then, like, from time to time, she texts me like, hey, what about next Thursday? We can make this one. Sounds good, And, but that's the thing, like, that now the waiting for me, it's like longer and longer because like she's
They're
so
busy,
yeah. So actually,
But that's good, yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
like,
if you can
that's
do
3
what
years.
you love and make a living out of it, that's
Oh, yeah.
the best thing to happen.
Yeah. Tell me.
I mean, I work for customer service in an airline. I really like my job. I'm really good at it. Would that be the thing that I love to do? No, I would just love to have my own freaking studio and just record people and just do that.
Same.
But that's a serious investment that is a lot of money, and I think it's getting cheaper. Like, I can literally record a full band in this flat if I want to.
Yeah.
I have the equipment already. It's like I just need to buy more microphones. So I buy a little bit every month. It's like get a mic, get this, get that. It's like,
Yeah. I mean, like,
but the competition is so stiff in that area, and everyone can do so much now from home, as you know, because you do it yourself. It's like,
yeah.
they don't really need to buy studio time anymore unless you have like a band that's signed with a label, and then they will go to a studio that already has like a track record and like names attached to it, But yeah, it's what I love doing. It's like, so if anyone wants to record something, send me a message on my social media, or if you have my phone number, in WhatsApp me.
You can put it on the, like,
on the
you can put the screen.
Yeah.
No, like, for me it's the same. I work also for a customer support. I like what I do, even because, I mean, like, that's the key. I mean, like, you're spending 1/3 of your day in like, on that. Before it was in the office, now it's at home due to COVID. But
Okay, I'm not being disrespectful, people. I'm just trying to order beers through a text message.
But the thing is, so like, you kind of have to like what you're doing and doing at your best in order to survive the day, because otherwise it will killing you. Like, I couldn't. I don't even want to imagine what would be, like, doing something that you don't like 8 hours a day, 5 days per week.
Yeah, so that would drain you and probably give you a proper depression.
Yeah, I have those periods where, like, because I would never, like, 15 years ago, if you will ask me, I would never see myself working in a big corporate, this kind of stuff. So from time to time, I have these troubles with myself, like, but yet, like, I definitely, like, first of all, it's what gives me the like, what allows me to pay the rent, pay my food without have to ask anything to my parents, for example, or to depend by anyone. And what's important, it gives me the money to do what I really love.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I like, I'm building my home studio. I want still job from you, don't worry. I'm doing my own stuff only. I'm not recording bands or anything. I'm just recording my instrumentals, and I have a mic if someone want to cooperate, you want to sing over a song, but that's it. I don't want to I don't want to open like a recording studio. I have my studio
To do your stuff.
to do
Yeah.
my stuff, exactly.
That's what I use my equipment for mostly, and this podcast as well. It's running through the same system because it works.
Yeah.
Like, I already have it.
But yeah, as you say, like it's and actually like that's what drive me a bit crazy when I have to collaborate with people. I'm sure that I'm not having a nice. I'm not nicely reviewed from the scene here in Prague. I think that
Really?
I think I'm considered kind of a pain in the ass. The thing is, if you want to work with me as a producer or as a bass player, and like, I don't know, like I saw many times or received messages like, hey, we're looking for a bass player, would you like to play? Okay, what you're offering me? Like, not in terms of money or anything, don't take me wrong.
Yeah.
But if you're coming with, having good time and blah, 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 man, because the thing is, for me, it's implicit. I mean, like, it's doing music. No one ever put me a gun on my head and say, play.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
I'm
yeah.
doing it because I love it. I'm doing it because I'm loving it since I'm 7 years old, So having good time, it's implicit. Now, do you want to do something serious?
Mm-hmm.
Then okay. If it's just to have some good time, man, then I will go to a jam session.
Yeah.
I know that I will meet people that have the same passion, having some beers, and I mean, like, that's it, like, but if I have to invest time, energies, and money, and, like, man, it must be something that 99% it won't happen anyway, because music business, it's crazily hard.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like,
But
making money from music is
But you have to try
almost
it.
impossible.
I mean, like, you have the goal to fill the O2 arena.
yeah.
That should be your goal. Then you end up playing in front of 50 people. Man, okay, but if you did everything you could, like to get the best, okay. If your goal it's just playing in front of 50 people, then, man, I'm sorry, but like you must dream, because especially nowadays, I mean, like, nowadays everyone can make music.
Yeah.
Everyone can be a producer, everyone can be a DJ, everyone
Yeah.
can, so it's like if 20 years ago a competition was big, nowadays it's infinite,
Yeah, it's crazy.
and we are all connected, so it's
And the thing is, like, I'm literally on Spotify, and I'm a shit musician. I don't even know what keys I play
I
in.
loved Kiwi. Dude, I loved Kiwi, actually.
Yeah.
I'm serious. I'm not telling you, but I really loved Kiwi.
It's literally based on a true story, because Kiwi was the name of one of the hamsters my dog killed on the birthday of my girlfriend's dog.
Okay.
No, it's the second hamster she killed. The kid is still
minute of
ignoring.
silence for Kiwi.
No, like the kid is still denying that the dog killed the hamster.
Okay.
But I threw it in the bin. It was definitely dead. So I'm gonna get some more beers because my girlfriend is not responding to my text messages, which is a shame. So give me a second. Let me clean the.
Yeah, let me finish it.
There you go.
Thank you.
No props. I freaking love this balcony, man.
No,
It's amazing. And we have one on the other side as well.
Okay. Now that, for example, that I'm starting
Whoa,
to
jeez.
see the, I would like to buy a flat balcony. It's one of those things that I would love to have, but at the same time, I'm eventually willing to give up. You know, like I want to have like a 2 meter square where I built my studio like properly. You know, no window because the fucking sun. You know, and you know, like put the sponges on the wall to absorb the noises and everything. That's something that it's a must. And at least 2 bedroom, like one for me and my partner, and one for the eventual kids. You know.
Yeah. Family.
I mean, like,
Oh yeah, I need to do my clap. Let me see how it's going. Jesus. Oh, it's recording. That's good. Okay.
okay.
Would be a shame to find out after an hour that it's not recording.
Well.
All right, clap. There we go. Do people ask me why do I clap? It's for my editing, so I can sync the audio with the video. So yeah, cheers.
Fun fact on biting, like in Italy it's a thing, you know. We say that if you don't do it, you don't have you won't fuck, you know. And but that's the thing, like for example in Spain they don't do it, like in a lot of countries they don't. And here in Czech Republic I found out they do.
Yeah.
And when I asked it how it come, you know, because again, like in Italy, it's really like this. If you if you don't,
it's the same. Like if you don't look each other in the eyes, you're gonna have bad sex for 7 years.
Exactly. So
and I was just like, I'm gonna have sex. Oh.
I don't care if it's bad.
Yeah.
No, but here they actually explain me that it started during the Nazi time because they were forced to cheer to Hitler, so they didn't want to. So it was like an escamotage to break the cheer. You know, like this is not the last thing we cheered on. Well, It's like, so since then I stopped to buy the thing because I don't want to break the cheering with you. You know, like it was like, so at the beginning it was like, no. And now I lost the I lost the custom.
It's just normal. It's like, like
now I lost the custom because like why should I break the cheering? You know,
I've never thought about it like that.
So where were it? We
were talking about Jesus. I cannot rewind and watch back what we talked about.
It's like that I'm not I'm famous here in Czech, in Prague at least. Yeah. No, the thing is, you know, I take over seriously music. You know, like it's the only. This is the thing. Like it's the only big ambition I have. You know, it's I love to do everything as best as I can. I'm really competitive. I'm a bad loser. You know, like with my brother, for example, we play cards to decide who have to make the coffee. You know, like, and man, I can't lose. I mean, like literally, like I'm a super bad loser. You know, like I get grumpy, I get in a bad mood, and everything. You know. But to be honest, I don't give a fuck, you know, like it's, you know, I will make a coffee or whatever it is.
No, but it's just a competitive nature.
Yeah, exactly. I'm
anyway.
competitive, but at the same time, it's, you know, like it's not a big deal. But music, dude, it's something that I'm really dedicated. I mean, if I look back, you know, I always put music before everything, you know, like I remember going to once I remember going to I don't remember if it was a first communion and a confirmation, you know, like of some cousin, and I had my bass with me, and my brother at some point had to bring me to the metro because I had rehearsals. It was Sunday, you know, I had rehearsals. And it's the thing that, for example, my parents, if I wouldn't go, for example, if I would say this Christmas I won't go there, I you know, I would lose my family. You know?
My family luckily doesn't care that much about Christmas. They're just happy when I show up sometimes, you know. And I try to, because my sister's birthday is on the 24th of December. Okay. Her son's birthday is on the 27th.
Okay.
So if I can squeeze it in all together, like my sister's birthday, Christmas, and my nephew's birthday, it's the
Better for
best.
you.
But this year it's not gonna happen,
Yeah,
obviously.
this year, that's why I told my parents, you know, like they're still pushing, like, so are you coming this Christmas? And so I'm like, dude, if it's something that the situation
Mm.
remember me is that he can't plan shit, you know, like he really cannot. So hopefully yes. But that's the thing, like I remember when I was in Barcelona and I was DJing, it happened that I had to DJ the 24th and the 25th and the 31st of
Oh, that's also a
December.
thing he does, by the way. He's a DJ. I forgot to touch on it.
I'm not anymore. I'm like, but
Like finals, right?
huh?
Like finals, right?
The thing is, when I was DJing in Barcelona, I really burnt out myself. You know, like with the sound system I was playing with Messenger, should have it here. You know, like at some point it started to be really like a job, unpaid job. I mean, like the few money we were getting, they were invested for the sound. You know, like to do merch, to buy a dub plate, you know, this kind of stuff. But it was literally like, you know, like a lot of demanding. You know, like we. I remember like when I started to thinking on giving up on DJing, it was like I remember going to the office, finish my shift, going to the airport, meeting the two MCs of the sound, flying to Munich, so Barcelona, Munich, playing at the club, and then 6 a.m. take a cab, going back to the airport, flying back to Barcelona, and going
Jesus.
back to the office.
That's not good.
And all of this based on Red Bulls. I never did a line of cocaine. I never, you know, like I smoked tons of weed in my life, but that's the only thing I ever take, you know.
Same for me, yeah. And a lot of people didn't believe me when I told them that. It's like,
Tell me about it, too.
Yeah.
Like they see me all full
because
tattoos
like I was like at a great place. I'm gonna promote you guys. Tiki Taki. They're in Chimburkova in Žižkov, best cocktail bar in the world, in my opinion.
Mhm.
They're just fucking solid, good people. I was there, and this guy is like, David, wanna have a line? It's like, no. It's like, yeah. It's like, no. It's like, yeah, man. It's like, no, I never did that shit in my life, and I'm not gonna start today. And he's like, well, I heard different stories. It's like, well, those are bullshit stories then, because I literally never touched it. And it's not because it was never around me. I'm from the Netherlands. We have a hardcore scene. There's a lot of ecstasy and speed and coke and everything. And I used to hang out with those guys. Like, I am not into that music scene, even though I'm really proud of it, how they made this music last this long, because it's a strong force. They're still around, you know? They're still throwing kick-ass parties, and they've grown from underground house parties to mainstream amazing events that are just crazy. And the nicest people you can meet. People always like to hate on them. It's like, oh, but they're aggressive, like they're all drugged up. It's, yeah, but they're really nice people. They just like to have a good time and just stomp around for freaking 18 hours in a row, you know? It's like, it's their release of everything that's going on in their life, and that keeps them sane. That's a good thing. But I got offered speed and coke and ecstasy and everything, and I was just never tempted. First of all, I don't really care that much. Second of all, I've been addicted to weed for like 10 years in my life, and people say weed is not addictive. I say, yeah, fuck yourself, it is.
Yeah, it is.
And it's like, if
it's not physically addictive.
No,
It's not
but
physically
mentally.
addictive, but mentally,
definitely.
psychologically, yeah.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, I smoked weed and I was like addicted for 10 years. It's like, yeah, but what if I try A or B or C or D and I have the same response and I dive into this rabbit hole? That's a way more serious toll on your body than smoking a joint, you know?
Yeah.
So I just don't take the risk. It's like, I might really like using it, but I'm not gonna. Just to protect myself from my probably genetic code that is pretty acceptive of addictional behavior.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, like, that's not my very first point. My very first point, and, you know, like, now I learn how to coexist with. I have a lot of friends doing it, and like I'm less radical. Like I remember when I was in my teenage era that I was literally like losing friends because I was putting them in the condition to choose, like our friendship or cocaine, like, and they were saying, I want to stop doing lines, and I said, okay, that's it, so that's something that, for example, nowadays I regret because friendship for me is one of the
but you're young, right? I kind of get the approach, but
let me tell you, like I contact back some of them, like, and now we're still in contact, like, and that's the thing, like we both agree that we were young, and I don't know, like, but I like 10, 15 years ago, everything was more strict, like, for example, I remember that when I was listening punk music, like you were punk, you weren't listening other shit, okay. And same for like people that were listening metal. They were listening metal, and nowadays everyone like it's more integrated. Like
I don't know if that's literally what happens or if that's part of the age you are. That you feel identified with one genre and stick to that.
I think that now there is no more this strong identity that it used to be 10, 15 years ago, because like if you see the globalization effect, like it impacted everything. So I don't know, like I used to see really, like, especially in Barcelona shocked me, because you could see literally like people that if you were looking at them, you were considered punk, like with the crest, like spikes and everything in a disco. And it was everything mixed up, and actually it's cool. I mean, like, it's actually I remember when I was in the high school, we were like 1,000 students, so 900 were listening commercial music. Like it was Italian dance in the 90s. I mean, like Gigi D'Agostino. I mean, like it's worldwide.
Gigi D'Agostino, man.
Eiffel 65. Like we had a lot of like
really good acts.
Exactly. So the literally 90% of the students were listening to that music. Like were people that were going, at the beginning on Sunday afternoons at the disco, and then when they were growing up, they could go on Saturday night. And then we had 100 people that we were mixed. We were hippies, punks, metals, So I remember when we were going to smoke in the garden, we had a little corner that we had to share between all of us. Okay. And yet we weren't able to sum up, man. Then in that little corner, you had on that side all the metalists. On this side, all the punkies, and on that side, the hippies.
It reminds me of my high school for sure, but I think
nowadays it's like I think that.
But I think I was mixing way more back then already, because I grew up in a small town in the Netherlands, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you had like all the hardcore people, like wannabe neo-Nazis that are not really neo-Nazis. They just want to be part of a group. So yeah, they identify with those people. So yeah, that's how they hang out with. They all turned out great, by the way. They ditched their racist bullshit. And I was wrong.
Something.
It's good. Yeah, it's exposure. That's the thing. If you want to end racism, you have to be exposed to the other cultures, because most of racism comes from ignorance and misunderstanding.
Take American Historics, dude. I mean, like that's
one of the best movies ever made.
And that's what it tells you. Like the guy is a super Nazi until he finds out like what is what means for real, and
I always mixed with all these different people, like people in the hardcore culture. I was a bit of a metalhead myself, like the most diehard Linkin Park fan ever. And now people in the comments are gonna say, Linkin Park stopped being metal after 2003. Go fuck yourself. They're musicians, they want to make music, and they make the music they want. And if you don't like it, they're not forcing you to listen to it. So they have a good track record of really good albums. So even the last one, even though it's a bit tragic, if you listen to the last album, which is very poppy, the lyrics are like very painful to listen to when you know that Chester Bennington took his own life only like 3 months after the album got released.
Mm-hmm.
And you're like, That's what he did in every song. He laid out his soul in the lyrics, right? It was basically telling you, it's like, yeah, my mind is fucked up and it's not a nice place to be. And that's depression should be taken seriously. You know, it's a problem in music, especially. You know, it's like
indeed.
Chris Cornell, Scott Weiland.
Chris Cornell actually really shocked me. I remember I was at work and I read about the news, and I took a break, and I was playing ping pong with my brother. My brother works in the same company, so we took a break and we were playing ping pong, and we were just like, man, did you hear? You know, and even more shocking, Kate Fleet from Prodigy.
Yeah.
Man, I mean, like, that's the thing. Prodigy were one of this. When I discovered punk music when I was 7, 8 years old, and I was super fascinated and in love with, you know.
It's loud, it's aggressive. It's like,
Exactly. When my brother brought at home the tape of The Fat of the Land.
Yeah. Good one.
Man.
Look it up, kids. Good music.
Oh, yeah. And I remember that we traveled almost 400 kilometers my brother was at this mandatory bullshit year of military. It was still mandatory.
You still have that, yeah.
Yeah. So it's like the promise to the country that he will defend the country, you know. So it's a thing that I don't know in the other countries, but in Italy you go to see, you know, like this promise, you know, like it's a celebration, blah blah. And let's say that I love my parents, but there was something that never had in common when I was a kid mostly. Like now we can find some common artists, but in the past, dude, like music, it was like day and night. So I was, whenever we were traveling with the car, I had my Walkman with me.
Oh, yes.
And believe me, like that travel, it was like almost 400 kilometers going, and then we had 400 kilometers going back. And I brought only that tape, The Fat of the Land, you know. And that's the thing, like for me, it was like, I was kind of ashamed because that's the thing, like I was listening punk music, I was identifying with that, and Prodigy, you know, like they're electronic. Now, of course, now I can see like, yeah, they're the punk, they're the Sex Pistols of electronic music. You know?
Definitely, yeah.
You know, but back then for me, it was like they were doing electronic music. Yeah. And for me, it was like, oh,
that's not real music.
That's not what I...
Mommy.
Okay, we have a mommy calling here.
Yeah.
David.
Okay, yeah. Sorry, guys, but this is Fatih. Yeah.
We were 8 minutes running, and we didn't stop, and now we're going on the stairs, and we didn't stop, and we're all wet. We're sweating so much.
I'll keep walking.
And we found 2 dead birds.
Yeah. Okay, that was an interruption by my lovely stepdaughter.
And some dead bird found on the street.
But
that's punk.
my dog is going mental because they make noise.
That's fine.
There you go. This is what life is like, people. Like you have a family, this shit happens all the time.
Like it's.
And I love my family.
Fine.
Like I never thought I would like family life as much as I do. It's like.
Oh yeah.
When people ask me, it's like, yeah, you have a relationship and she has a kid. It's like, yeah. What's that like? It's like, well. It's like having a relationship with someone who has a kid. It's like,
no, to be honest, I mean, like I like my plan is first to get flat before to get a kid. Just you know, like you don't have this paranoia that you can be
just
kicked
to have
out.
the space.
Exactly. But to be honest, you know, like from another side, I can't wait to have my kid. You know, like and then you know, like hopefully just.
Yeah, I got one for free. I didn't even have to do the job.
I mean, like it's. I mean, like getting a kid has a nice process in the background. So, you know, like, it's, you know, like, it's not that it's something that, you know, like, it's painful to get. I mean, like, not for us.
Not for us.
Like, respect
for
for
us.
all mommies. I don't want this to sound, I mean, like, I can't really imagine, like, how it can be for them.
I don't want to.
But,
I just don't want to imagine.
But for us, I mean, and even for, like, that, like, the conception, let's say, the conception, it's lovely for both of us. You know, like it's one of the greatest thing. I mean, like I remember in one of the studio where we used to rehearsal with my band back in Italy, and I was peeing, and in the bathroom we had 2 sentences written with a marker on the wall, and we're both great sentences. I mean, like one, it was like one of them. It was sometimes having a pee, it's better than fuck.
Oh yeah, it is for sure.
And someone added below, yeah, and luckily, fuck is as good as playing music. You know, and it's like, yeah, dude. I mean, like this is a lot of poetry in a bathroom bowl. You know, like it's.
That's where the best poetry is written, guys. In
No.
toilets, like scabby toilets at weird places.
Yeah. Well, if you
Sometimes you read stuff, you're like, wisdom.
Yeah. If you remove all this, like phone numbers and call if you want it, like that. But yeah, like if you can spot, I actually, like a lot of times I found myself, like taking pictures of the wall of the bathroom, because like what you're doing. I mean, like you're not. Like you're basically standing in and so the only thing you can do, you can read actually the through the walls, and you find a lot of wisdom there.
So that was lovely Fatty opening her bedroom window, which is right where we're at. But they want to watch us for some reason. Yeah. So how long have you and your girlfriend been together? Do I know her? Have I met her?
Probably in the jump session.
Mm?
And it's not that but it's like 5 months now, so it's not that long. But it's like for me it's great. Like if there is something that for me it's fundamental, is for example the support in music. Like
Does she play anything?
No. That's the thing, like it's fun. It's funny because for the very first time we are, like I have a partner that is really way different than I do, and chocolate. So thank you. And like we have very different music taste.
Me and my girlfriend are so different in musical taste. Like basically everything, because my girlfriend has no mediocre things in music. She loves something or she hates something.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And like I play her something, she's like, I hate it. And then I play Rammstein, she's like, yeah, fucking amazing.
Okay. No, in this case, like we are literally we have way different taste in music, but I really appreciate how she support me in my music thing. Not in terms, like I'm not talking about. I mean, like this track. I really love the track. Like of course I'm happy when, and I can see when she's saying it because she's my partner, and when she said it because she meant it. Like I can see the difference. But for me, it's more like being a musician. It takes a lot of time from everything else.
Definitely, yeah.
And that means also from the, like from the partner thing.
Yeah.
And like that's what I really appreciate from her, and every time I actually thank her because I don't give it for granted, because that's the thing, like a lot of I had, like of course everyone has like their past, so I had other girlfriends and everything, and it's true that like being a musician, I mean I had a lot of relationship or adventures because I'm a musician, like you're on stage, so
yeah, people like people on stage.
exactly, like
they do.
I mean, like I don't consider myself pretty.
It's just a shame you're the
anything.
bass player, because everyone always goes for the guitar player or the singer.
Yeah, but again, like the trick is moving on stage, and yeah, don't say that you're the bass player. No, but the thing is,
He
like
told me he was in a band. He plays the bass.
exactly. So the thing is, I like I recognize that being a musician, man, being a DJ. Like it really helped me a lot on this thing, But if it's one night stand, it's fine. Okay.
Yeah.
When you start a relationship, it's cool at the beginning for the partner, like, yeah, my boyfriend is a musician, my boyfriend is a DJ, my boyfriend is a producer, whatever.
Yeah.
But after some time, it starts to be funny for them, because like then it starts to be, like you're not answering for hours on the phone. You're not. You want go to watch that movie. Like have something to finish. Or like you have if you have a band, you have practice and so on. And with her, like this thing, like she knows that when I'm with her, when it's her time, I'm 120% for her.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I know that when it's the music time,
That's it.
I'm in the zone, like that's the thing. So, and I really thankful that she understood that, like that she knows that I'm taking it serious, and anyway, so it's not easy to being with a musician, I'll say. Or with whoever is passionate with art, like I'm
definitely,
a musician, so I can talk with musicians.
Because my girlfriend plays the guitar together
so
with
maybe
a
easier.
good friend, and it's like, they just rehearse, and either I'm there in the room chilling out, or I'm playing my stupid video games. My girlfriend doesn't understand video games. She just doesn't get it. It's like, but her daughter loves it. Like, I have the PSVR headset. She fucking loves that thing. It's like, technically, my PlayStation tells me she should not play it. Because it's 12 years and up.
So what's the age? 14 or 16?
What?
It's 14 or 16?
It says 12 years and up.
12 years.
Yeah.
Okay.
It probably has to do with the development of the eyesight, I think.
Yeah, I remember when in the PlayStation 1, the advertisement was like, don't play more than 1 hour for the epileptic thing. No matter the age, it was like, don't play more than 1 hour. And 1 hour.
Fucking hell.
Okay.
I'm in this shit right now.
Exactly. For me, I was cheating this thing. Like, okay, I will pause it and go to pee. So, like I'm taking a break. But I remember like NASCAR 500. I love the game because I love, and I still love Days of Thunder, the movie with Tom Cruise.
Have I seen that? I don't think I ever saw that.
It was released after Top Gun, and it's basically the same story but based on NASCAR racing. So I fell in love with the NASCAR racing. And
NASCAR racing is like I'm a Formula 1 fan myself, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which is like the top notch of racing for people that I know. It's like
the formulas.
like driving cars that are like what is it, like 380 kilometers an hour on a track. People are like, it's just driving around in circles. But the skill is amazing. And then like most Formula 1 people are like, NASCAR is fucking bullshit. You just drive in a circle for like I don't know how many laps. So it's like, do you understand the speeds they go at? It's absolutely insane.
And plus, like I love the fact that the car are built to be are built in series. So like it's literally like the driver skills in that case.
And in Formula 1, that's
Formula
not
1,
the case.
it's
It's like Mercedes has the best car.
Exactly.
They're gonna take the win.
That's the thing. Like it's really hard to compete with. like. And secondly, I love in NASCAR that you have this, like touching, between the cars, that it's I don't know, it's punk driving, it's dirty, it's I don't know, so and
I love motorsport in general. It's like I think rally driving to me is still the most insane fucking thing they came up with.
Yeah, I saw some.
Why would you drive a car that fast on a surface that has like zero grip whatsoever?
Yeah. I have a friend.
And they managed to do that, It's like, because I have a dirt rally in VR on my PlayStation. I have like a steering wheel and pedals.
Yeah, I saw some videos
and
you were transmitting.
And it's fucking scary.
Yeah.
Like my brother-in-law was here, and he's like, "Yeah, let me drive this. Let me try this, right?" And like he is very prone to have motion sickness whenever he travels. Like if he's not driving, he's not feeling well because.
Yeah, you're scared.
And like he played it for like 50 minutes, and like we were sitting here, right? Because we were of course here, and like I just said it's like I'm amazed like he doesn't have a problem with motion sickness yet, because most people that use VR for the first time get motion sick pretty quickly. And I like 2 minutes later he came out. He's like, I'm a bit dizzy now today. But
Yeah.
And the thing is, like, I love racing games, but I don't have a driver's license.
Yeah, I
And
remember.
people's like, why don't you have it? It's like, first of all, in the Netherlands, a driver license is crazy expensive, and I
Mhm.
could get to my job with public transport easily. And now I live in Prague, and Prague is like the capital of good public transport. It's like,
No,
either I walk where I need to go, take
I,
a tram, or take a metro. It's like,
I do love to drive, to be honest. I don't have a car here.
Mm.
Actually, I left the car when I left Italy in 2008.
so what car did you have?
I had a Golf.
Of course.
No, I got it from my. That's the thing. I had two cars, both Golf, and both actually got it from my father. You know, like the first one, it was really like it was a very old Golf with still with the round lights.
That's
It
good.
was great, but it was fucked up already. So I remember when I got the driving license, my father gave me the keys and says, "Okay, finish to destroy it." You know, like it was like, and that's the thing, like,
and then you're like, okay.
yeah, but the
Yeah.
thing is, because I mean, like, you could destroy everything but the car. I mean, like, those cars were like,
Solid as fuck.
yeah. I mean, like, they were
I,
tank.
I think they still are.
Yeah,
Like a Volkswagen, it just makes good cars.
exactly.
Like, it's
And-
German, you know. Germans do their thing right. Like if it's cars, if it's genocide, it doesn't matter. They do
they
their
take
thing
everything
right. Yeah.
serious, and so this, and then he got this older Golf, and then when he changed the car, he passed it to me basically. So I literally like never bought a car, and I always got what my father was exchanging. And then when I moved to Barcelona, as you said, like Barcelona has even better public transport than here.
That's
Like,
impressive.
you're covered 24/7. I mean, like you lose, like, the metro ends at 12 and starts at 5, Monday to Thursday. Friday it's until 2, and Saturday is all night long. Metros.
That's amazing.
The bus are every 20 minutes, and you have a different climate than here.
Yeah.
So if you lose a tram in December here, and you have to wait 20 minutes outside for the other tram, you call a Uber. That's- like, you don't want to wait 20 minutes in the cold.
20 minutes.
In
Well, it depends. If I have a good podcast on, I might wait 20 minutes.
yeah, I don't know. Like, for me, it's more like the weather. Like I can't stand cold.
I'm from the Netherlands. We know cold.
Cold,
We know,
yeah,
we
I
know
don't.
rain. We know everything.
I don't, and it put me really in a bad mood. So, like in Barcelona, mid of December, still you have 10 degrees outside, 12 degrees outside. It's actually warmer than your flat most of the time. So you don't really mind to wait 20 minutes for the bus if
Yeah.
you just lose it. Like then, the podcast or the album, it works. But yeah, and to be honest, I forgot how we came here. What
Me
was
too.
the question actually?
I don't know if there was a question to begin with. So what headphones do you have? JBL people.
They're really cheap, these ones, and really good. I because it's
I
a lot
have,
of bass in it.
I have wireless headphones from
I don't-
JBL.
I don't like the wireless thing, to be honest.
I do because I wear a hat. It's
I'm-
very convenient.
I don't know. For me, like having an older antenna that you can avoid, really close to your head, is like, it doesn't give me good feelings, to be honest. Like my father found, true story. He works in a restaurant, so I won't make names because otherwise the guy will try to track me down. But he found on the day of my birthday, he found the Apple ad set. like the
Yeah,
AirPods.
yeah, like the AirPods. Yeah.
The
Those things
first
are
series.
fucking popular.
Expensive,
Holy crap! But
So-
everyone's wearing them. Like if you walk down the street,
yeah, and
you could do like a AirPod bingo, and like if you get 10, you deserve a beer for yourself.
yeah.
You could just get drunk every day.
The thing is, like, it became, it was like a few years ago, the Beats. Yeah, everyone had Beats. Now everyone has the AirPods.
Yeah.
But anyway, like, he found, the day of my birthday, he found the AirPods, like, both, like the complete kit, the charger,
like the charging
the
case, and the,
AirPods. So, you know, like, my father is really sentimental person, so it was like, I found it the day of the birthday of my kid, so it's his,
shit,
it's meant to be his present. And he gave it to me. And, you know, at the beginning it was like cool. I mean, like, it's a really fashion accessory, you know, like the case, it's really fashion and everything. Now, the
Okay, I'm sorry. I have to stop you here because I need to pee very badly. There we go. That actually clipped my channel. Holy fuck. Okay.
So, where were we?
Talking about Jesus.
Yeah, we're really bad about it, right?
My memory is really, really great. Yeah.
But you will edit, right?
yeah. I will edit this, but I also leave some of the awkward moments in because that's the way it goes.
Okay.
Because my podcast is the most unscripted thing ever.
Yeah,
It's just
I
talking
saw
to
that.
people. Yeah.
I saw that. Okay, I'm trying to remember what we were talking about. Cars.
Cars.
I like to drive. Yeah. Basically, this that you're really covered.
So what's your favorite car you'd like to have one day? Like if money was not an option, like not an issue.
Not a limit. Okay. Yeah. I really don't. I really don't know.
Like maybe you had a poster on your bedroom wall.
Like when I was a kid, there was like the myth of the Ferrari 340.
Yeah.
Like everyone had the car at
It's
somewhere, you know, like
it's such a beautiful car. Jesus. Guys, if you don't know this car, like
it's really old.
Ferrari
I think,
F40, like 1992, I think.
Yeah.
Look it up. This car is such a bare-boned race car. It doesn't even have a door handle on the inside. It just has a little string you need to pull to open the door.
Yeah. So
Just to save weight, you know. It's like it's when Ferrari actually still made like proper race cars. I mean, Ferrari doesn't even make a proper Formula One car this season. So, and as an Italian, that must hurt pretty bad, right?
To be honest, you know, like I remember watching Formula One racing every Sunday, you know, at my place with my father, with my brother, you know, like, and that's the thing, like you could miss some parts. Eventually, you could even miss the ending.
Yeah.
You couldn't miss the start. You know, like it
The
was
start is
like it was
the
the
thing,
start,
man.
and like it was like
It still is actually.
10 minutes before 2 p.m. It was like, hey, put on the channel.
Yeah.
Because, you know, like you want to see the start.
It's gonna happen.
I stopped watching Formula One when you know, like the mechanics start to be like the strategies start to be the most important thing. You know, like before it was the race. And I still remember, for example, the day Ayrton Senna died.
Ah, shit.
We were all together at home, like my uncle, like the tattooed guy we were talking before.
Was it? It was 1994, right?
1994, yeah, exactly. 1st of May, 1994, and like my uncle was married with a Brazilian woman, and I remember her.
The
you know,
Brazilians. Oh my God,
she
man.
was in tears and everything. I couldn't understand exactly what was going on. I was 8 years old back then. But you know, like it was, you know, like that's the thing, like Ayrton Senna, it was like what then Michael Schumacher became for Formula One, you know. And that's the thing, you know, like I would say that when Michael Schumacher retired, it's when I stopped watching Formula One, you know. Like now I'm mostly like I'm seeing the highlights video. You know, but I stopped watching the proper race, let's say.
This season, I actually finally started watching the races properly. I usually just watch the highlights because I'm too busy.
Mm-hmm.
But we always go to the same bar with Dutch colleagues that all watch the Formula One race all the time. Like, David, yeah, you've been trying to come with us and like watch the race for the last like 3.5 years, and you're never there. It's like, I will text you tomorrow when you need to come down and then watch the race with us. And I did. And like my favorite driver, Max Verstappen, who is of course a Dutch guy, won the race the first time I went to watch the race live. And the next 2 races he didn't finish because of engine problems and shit.
Okay.
It's kind of shit. But it's getting more interesting, and especially like 2022 when the rules change and the difference between the top teams gets smaller. It's going to be more interesting because I do understand what you get. Like right now it's like, okay, you have Lewis Hamilton, who's a phenomenal driver. He's absolutely insane. He almost makes no mistakes. And he has the best car as well. That helps. But I think he could win the race in a car that's worse than that, you know?
Yeah,
It's like
yeah.
he proved that in the past, like. And people don't like Lewis Hamilton very much for his personality, and it's like, okay, that's a subjective thing,
Haters gonna hate.
but he's the best driver on the grid for sure, you know.
Yeah.
So- and then you always have like the fucking great Kimi Raikkonen, who right now drives for Alfa Romeo, who's never gonna win a race, but just to hear like the compilation of like his like board radio communications is just hilarious. The same with his interviews, you know, like he's so freaking. Like they made this video with interviews about like Formula One drivers. It's like, yeah, how do you feel? Like now you cannot drive because of COVID-19, right? And everybody has this very passionate response. It's like, yeah, this and that, and like Kimi Raikkonen comes on, and it's like, oh, well, it's more like a hobby for me. It's like,
Yeah.
because he doesn't drive to win anymore. He doesn't have the competitive car. He just likes to drive.
To drive, yeah. But
And
then,
he's really good. He used to drive rally as well. Was also pretty successful. It's like, what?
I believe that this, unfortunately, it impacted, like a lot of sports, like this, like the money and the image, like before the sport.
I'm good.
Like with, if you take football, football, it's crazy. I mean, like how.
Well, the thing with football, what amazes me is the amount of money that goes around in it.
Yeah, but the thing is, it's something that it started. I mean, like, it was progressive. I mean, like in Formula One, money was always the thing. You know, that's.
I'm good.
That's the thing. Like it's. Thank you. That like money was in Formula One. It was always the thing. Like you always, as a driver, you needed the sponsor.
The sponsors to be even able to enter, right?
And in MotoGP is the same. Like you need, like I heard of, like pilots that the parents had to sell everything, to effort the first season, and then like, man, you better do it. You better do the best.
But that's the thing with that's the thing that you have with Lewis Hamilton as well. Like he was not a kid from a very rich family, right?
Yeah.
And that's why the success story is so much more amazing in my opinion. And like with Max Verstappen, like his father was in Formula One before, Jos Verstappen. He retired, and then he focused all his energy and skills to get his son to be in Formula One, and they made it happen. I was like, you can like the guy or not. I like it because he doesn't give a shit what people think about him. Like in interviews, he would call people out. It's like last year, like Ferrari had like something done with their car, and like the moment like they got a fine, and they were losing, and they asked Max Verstappen, it's like, Ferrari like didn't finish in like in the top 5. What do you think that happened? And his response literally was like, "Oh, that happens when you stop cheating." That's like so savage, but he doesn't give a shit about the repercussions of what he said right?
Yeah.
He just speaks his mind, and you cannot always do that if you're representing a brand like Red Bull.
Exactly.
What he's in, right? There's a lot of things involved. It's not just driving a car. It's like the whole thing behind it.
Yeah, indeed.
And that's like why Ferrari is so big in Formula One, because they were there from the first race, right? And
Yeah.
they're still there. So every time like the FIA wants to change something, and Ferrari is like, okay, if you're gonna do this, we're gonna step out. They just don't put don't put the
they
rules
think
in.
twice.
It's crazy. It's like
Yeah, but this is
at one point I understand it. At the other point I'm like, dudes, if you want to have this big mouth Ferrari attitude, win some races, right? Like, because that's something they didn't do for a long time. They didn't win a championship for more than a decade, I think. It's crazy.
Mm-mm.
Because they used to be like with Schumacher.
Yeah, but in general, like it's like our like in football, like the Serie A, it was like where all the football players want to go.
Yeah.
Like that was the league you wanted to win, like because
Yeah.
that was, if you're a football player and you can make it to the Serie A, like it's the best achievement you can have. And now it's like it's the Premier League in UK, for example,
Yeah.
and
So since you're Italian, what's your favorite football team?
oh, so my football team is Fiorentina. So that's what I told you. Like it's like I'm not used to see titles, national or international. The thing is, when I was a kid, when I start to have this, when you start to follow football, everyone was rather from Milan, Inter, or Juventus.
Mhm.
Like you wouldn't meet any. I mean, like I was living in Milan, so of course, so you couldn't find anyone supporting any other team.
Mm.
And back then, Fiorentina had amazing talents. We had Gabriel Omar Batistuta. I mean, like it's one of the greatest player ever. We had Batistuta, we had Rui Costa, we had Oliveira. So for me, it was like I always been a bit like outstanding, like since ever. So I didn't want to support a team that everyone supports. Okay, and I said, okay, so what should I support? And and that's the thing, like you will seeing Batistuta playing, and when he was scoring, celebrating with this, like air rifle, like on the camera. I said, man, this, and this. So I, like, since then I started to support. I was 6 or 7 years old, and that's the thing, like I like. I just love it. Yesterday, the league in Italy started, and we won. Like, it was the first match of the league, and we won. So
That's good.
Yeah.
That's a good start.
It's a good start. Yeah. We don't have problem with the starting. We have problem with the endings usually, but
Like when the competition gets more fierce, you're like, oh shit.
it's like that. I mean, like it's a team that has his own resources. Like it definitely doesn't have the resources that like clubs like Juventus has, for example. So
But there's amounts of money involved that go beyond anything,
yeah, but that's the thing.
That's pretty
like,
much like the team that has the most resources will probably have the best team because they can afford the best talents.
Yeah, and
But I like, even though I'm not into football, and it's called football, it's not called soccer. Fuck you, Americans.
yeah, exactly.
It's like, it's like the people with the best resources usually win because they can get the best freaking people.
Yeah,
That's just kind of annoying because if they would like just balance out like this is the amount of money you can spend a year for every team, it would be more fun to watch because.
Yeah,
And of course you have like this high tier like matches like FC Barcelona against like what is it like?
Yeah, I know what I mean.
Well, what's like the
there is
derby?
fair playing, like, but that's the thing. Like anyway, that there you can see anyway, like how the name and the history of the club can, like you have teams that they screw on the fair play, and they are heavily, fuck, I don't have the name for it, the word. They got a really huge penalty sanction. Is it a
Could
word?
be. It is a word
Okay.
for sure. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't
And
know
then
if
you
it's in
have
the
other
right
teams
context, but-
that they're called to do the same, and somehow they don't go
Yeah.
so hardcore with them, because they know that if they will remove such a club from I don't know, like the Champions League for the next year,
Yeah.
a lot of people. I mean, like Champions League is a worldwide thing.
Mm.
It's not a European thing. I mean, like the European are the clubs, but it's followed all over the globe.
Yeah. Yeah.
And like if you would remove a club like Barcelona, Real
Yeah.
Madrid, or maybe people from like from India, was like like they will lose a bit of interest on the like on the Champions League. So yeah, that sucks. But at the same time, you also have like every year you also have this examples of I don't know, like if you take for example players like Francesco Totti, like they stayed the whole career in the same team. He got crazy off, like he could have won like crazy titles and get crazy money, and fuck the shit,
just
like
stick,
I'm from Rome. I was born and raised in Rome, and I always like that's the thing, like he was
It's
a
probably the
player
team
and
he followed.
supporter.
Yeah, yeah,
Exactly. He's a
exactly,
player
yeah.
and supporter of the team. So, like Real Madrid went with a crazy offer to him and said,
Nope.
stay in Rome. Like this, and the other thing, like you have some players that they decide, like they choose the honor. Like above the money, and
That's something you don't see very often anymore.
No.
People just sell out, and I don't blame them. Right? It's like you get a boatload of money.
Yeah.
You have to make a living. You have to pay
Exactly.
expenses.
It's the same with the music, like a lot of people complain like, the music, it became commercial, blah blah blah. Dude, that's what they're doing the living of. Like
it's their job.
Exactly. And plus, I mean,
Yeah.
like,
But that's what I always said, because complaining about bands being too commercial is a very metal thing to say about bands. It's like, they became too commercial. It's like, dude, you have like 7 T-shirts of the same band. It's like, that's also commercial.
yeah.
Because you paid like 30 euros for this T-shirt, that's being made for 5. I don't hear you complaining about that. It's like,
No,
of course,
and
you have to make a living, and if your living is music, get a sponsorship deal with like an amp brand or something. Get endorsements.
yeah,
That's how bands work in a live environment. They get an endorsement. They can use their shit by promoting it. It's like, oh yeah, but like if you get a promotion from like Kemper amps or something, they're pretty solid freaking devices, It's like, and people are like, yeah, but it's digital and not analog. It's like, okay, that was a discussion we had 13 years ago. Digital now and analog is like,
yeah.
you can bullshit me by saying you can hear the difference. I'm pretty sure if you would be put on a blind test, you will not hear the difference anymore.
Yeah.
That's how good it became. It's like,
And
because it's a literal recreation of the analog device. It's like,
no, exactly. But the thing is, like,
and then like you put all your expensive analog amps on stage, and it's mixed on a digital console because of convenience. Digital consoles are way more convenient to mix in than an analog one.
Yeah.
If you have like 7 bands in a row, you can just sound check them before, save the setting, recall
Exactly.
it when the band comes up,
exactly.
and it's done, right?
Dude, I remember when like when I was DJing reggae music. So it's like with the 7 inches. Okay. So when you were DJing to a party, well, first of all, let's, like with reggae music, first of all, you're DJing this music for like the main reason, especially back then. But I believe that it didn't change. I'm a bit out of the business, but I believe it didn't change. Like, why you're DJing this music? Because you want a party. If you don't start that party, you won't have a reggae party. You know, like that's why you're DJing that music. So, you know,
That's what
definitely
a
you're
DJ
not doing
should
it for
do.
the music.
Like-
Yeah?
like- like
Yeah,
a
you're not doing it for the money. You know, like you're doing it for the
Yeah.
music. So I remember, you know, like when we were building a party, I was just a DJ. I never owned a sound system, you know, like
Yeah.
speakers and everything. So for me, it was just DJing. When I was lucky, I just had to bring my own vinyls, headphones, and you were bringing like the diamonds just in case, you
Yeah.
know, like if they will break, but that's it. Then you had like the people that were carry on the sound system. You know, they were pulling in and out of the van the speakers and building up and everything, hoping that the police wouldn't take it off, because that's the thing. We were organizing party, so if the police will come, man, it's taking up your job. You know, like most in reggae music, there is this
have like
culture
a-
of home building speakers.
yeah.
So man, you know, like you put
You
your
put your
own
time and your
sweat and
effort,
everything.
yeah.
So I remember, you know, like when I was DJing with the records, when you were arriving to the party, you were already tired. Your arms were tired, you know,
Yeah.
because you have to carry on this bags of records.
And you don't
was-
have like a roadie to do it for you.
We're sweaty, you know, like I remember in Barcelona, we were organizing some parties at you know, like at the Parkwell. So it was like uptown, you know, and, you know, like you had to walk through the park, you know, with just bags in July, you know.
Yeah.
So you were sweating with the records, and when you were arriving, you were like, oh, okay, you're in 30 minutes. Oh, God, you know.
Shit. Like,
And then Serato arrived. You know, like in reggae music, hip hop music was Serato, what is Tractor with techno. And,
Yeah.
So Serato arrived. And man, we passed from Carry On, kilos and kilos of records. And the money you spend there. I mean, like, you have to update your library. So you have to pay
Yeah.
for the records and everything. And you have one laptop.
It's different than nowadays when they just pop in a USB stick. Like,
Exactly. Like,
Yeah.
and before the stick, anyway, you had to bring your laptop, your Serato, and your one from that, one from turntable. That was your setup. You know, like you passed from two crazily heavy bag
yeah.
to, you know, in one.
Because if you have a good record player, it's gonna be hefty. You know, it's not like a.
You know, and that's the thing, like, and at the beginning, yeah, people were complaining. Like, I was also recruited at the beginning. For me, it was like, no, man, the vinyl, the vinyl. And then, you know, like when I got the Serato, and I DJed for the first time with Serato, I said, man, I'm fresh. Like, I'm sweating during the DJ set.
Not before.
Not before.
Yeah.
You know, like, and my arms are not not painful. You know, like, oh God. And that's the thing. And then it became, you know, like, crazily more comfortable. And so, you know, like, and that's the thing. And if it's true that at the beginning, the quality was a bit, you know, like you had this drop of the quality.
Yeah.
Nowadays it's like, dude, I mean, like, it's also because you get used to it. Like I saw this with the pictures, you know, like I love to take pictures with the film. So I take the picture and that's it, you know, like I scan it and I don't know, I post it on my Instagram and that's it. Then you have the digital picture and you have crazy Photoshop behind that.
Yeah.
You know? And that's the thing, like that became the normal thing,
Yeah.
you know. And I remember it was like a period where you were looking at the normal picture, it was missing something. And I said, no, it's not missing shit. It's that one that it's over processed. It's not this one missing something, you know. Then maybe it's the other one that has too much. And luckily, I think that also it's something that people now it's coming back to the past, you know, like that, you know.
Yeah,
Like,
I have a good friend of mine that still uses like a Polaroid camera. And Polaroid is so great because you see the result almost instantly.
yeah.
And that's the shot you took. There's no filters you can put on it.
Yeah.
This is just what
With
the
the film
picture
is with the film is the same,
And
you know.
but also like the thing that changed lately with photography, right? It's like you can spend boatloads of money on like a good camera. I don't know what camera you have. Are you a Canon or a Nikon guy?
Canon. on the digital, but I have it there dusting because then when I discovered the film,
Yeah.
it's film.
Yeah, one of my friends does the same. Like, he has this crazy old cameras he inherited from his grandfather that he takes like 2 gigs and just shoots like on a film, which is really cool, but way more expensive, right? Because you need to have it developed and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
exactly. It's the film, the
Yeah, yeah.
developing, and but at the same time,
But then, like, now you can buy like phones that make crazy
Oh, yeah.
good pictures.
yeah.
And like, I believe like Steve Jobs said it once in one of his keynotes. He's like, the best camera you have is the one you have on you.
Yeah.
And I think that's true. It's like, and I have to say, iPhone is legendary for the pictures you can take with it. It's like,
Yeah, that's definitely. I mean, like, he has a great resolution, and this, I know, like, for it's definitely true that you can.
And they know what
you
they're
can have the
doing,
most
right?
expensive tool. You know, you can
yeah.
have the
But-
most
but if you don't know
expensive
how
camera,
to,
but
yeah,
you,
if you
exactly.
don't know how to use it.
That's the thing. Like,
Yeah.
if you,
So
you
I could
know.
buy a really expensive camera. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. Like, I studied video technology as well. And when I studied video technology, it's like, this shit is complicated as fuck.
Yeah.
Like, that's why I went to the sound engineering bit. Like, this is the thing I understand. And there's not that many factors to think about compared to video technology. Because there's so much things that can make a difference. It's like, is my white balance good enough? It's like,
Exactly.
it's
That's
stuff
what-
like that nobody thinks about. Like, even if I watch porn, right? If I watch porn that's shot by 2 cameras,
Yeah.
and like they have a different white balance, I just get annoyed.
No.
I just stop jerking off. I'm like, what the fuck did you guys do with the cameras, man?
no, but
That's like the basic thing you do when you set up a camera. Set the white balance and make sure it's even, right? It's
But
like-
that's what I love from the film camera. You know, like when I had the digital, you know, like that's the thing. Like as I have an addictive personality, you know, like when I fell in love with a band, man, you know, like I listen to all the discography
Yeah.
and watch all the documentaries, interviews,
Yeah.
and reading interviews on all pages and so on. I have it with everything. So with the film, when I discovered film hobby, it was the same. I bought the camera, and then I started to buy this lens and this lens and this lens and this lens. And at some point, you know, like I was going out on the street, and again, you know, like I had a bag full of lenses.
yeah.
And then, you know, like you want to take this and wait, let's try with the other, you know, like it was like,
There's just
I mean,
too many options. yeah.
exactly. And that's the thing, like the photography, it's the instant, it's an instant thing, you know, like
Yeah.
the click.
That's why the most popular photograph website is called Instagram.
No, but that's the thing. I mean, like that's what you're capturing is you're capturing that instant, you know.
Yeah.
So at some point,
And the
started-
problem with photos is it's never the same as you perceive it, right?
Exactly. You can
Like
take
the way you
same
see it yourself. Like if we would take a picture, I have to say I love the
Nice view.
backdrop of our setup because we have the TV tower here. Like the way I see it now, if I would take a picture, it's different than what I see right now. That's just the way it is. And we have the babies.
It's light, man.
Yeah, we
It's
have the
like-
babies back up. The babies were gone for like a year,
yeah, for the clinic.
and I was kind of sad because then it was just ugly, and now it's ugly with babies on it, and now I love it again. You know, it's like
No, that's the thing. Like when I discovered the film, you know, like it's old camera, so you don't have many options. You just have to focus, adjust the aperture,
yeah,
and that's the thing. So it actually tells me to, you know, like wait before to shoot, you know, like because with the digital, you know,
they have like
I was
a-
shooting
they
and
have
then
like
changing the
a-
settings,
yeah.
changing the setting and shooting, and then I was going home and I had 20 pictures looking the same, just choosing the best one.
Yeah.
With the film, you shoot one, but you know that is the best one. You know, like
Yeah.
you're not like no, wait. And that's the thing, like you have 36 shot or 24,
Yeah.
depending by the film you buy, and that's it. And now I'll go to pee. I wanted to finish the.
go for it.
I wanted to finish the film thing before to go. Where is the bathroom?
If you the other side, it's the other side. You can just push it.
No,
No, you cannot.
I cannot.
Jesus, they locked us up.
And there's no one.
There we go. So I think this is gonna be the last part of the podcast, and after that we We'll just have another drink by ourselves without you guys. So, we talked about music, video games, even politics.
Well,
Like,
yeah,
what the hell?
sport.
So, I have to think about what to talk about. Jesus. Would you like a chocolate?
I've just put a chewing gum on my on my mouth.
Oh, that's horrible. That's a horrible combination. Not chewing gum is horrible, but...
Yeah, but the combo,
Well, it could be good. Like, did you ever have, like, After 8?
after 8.
Yeah, it's like a English mint.
Uh-huh.
It's like a chocolate with mint inside.
Okay.
And
no,
it is... Oh, holy
I don't
crap,
think
man.
I don't think I had that brand, but yeah, I had chocolate mint. It's not my favorite. I mean, like for me, chocolate is chocolate. It's like I'm really, you know, like I'm not more.
Here we go, we got it. We're talking about food now. He's Italian.
Yeah, exactly.
Here we go.
And that's the thing, you know, like I'm not for, you know, like for example, if you take whiskey, it's whiskey, you know, like it's not whiskey with honey.
Mm-hmm.
And
we're gonna have some people joining us because they want to get high, which is completely fine. Join us.
Are you still doing it?
Yeah, we're just talking. It's fine. You can join us.
Hmm?
No, that's
You've
all
been
right.
talking for a while, guys.
Yeah, like for 149 minutes to be exact.
Okay, so you will edit that.
Yeah, I can edit this out. Not a problem.
Yeah.
But yeah, join us
Why don't you just put it on pause for a while?
because it's gonna be a bitch to edit if I do.
Are you eating chocolates while talking?
No, like, do you want one?
No,
So, people, there's my girlfriend that you cannot see.
I'm not here.
There's also Sean that you cannot see, and he's not here, as he just proclaimed himself. But yeah, food. What's your favorite food? Is it Italian?
Is it?
Are you gonna be like this cheeky Italian, like our kitchen is the best?
Yeah. Definitely, yeah. I mean, like every country has its own strong points. One of the few remaining strong points for Italy, I would say nowadays, is food. No, and actually, yeah, I will be super stereotyped. I will say pizza.
Mm.
Yeah, I
Napolitan pizza or just any pizza?
any good pizza. Doesn't have to be Napolitan pizza, but
Because they were the first, I believe, right?
must be good. That's my only requirement.
So what makes a good pizza? Like, educate us.
I would say that the dough and the oven. Like the oven already make a huge difference. You know, like if you don't have a wood oven,
Yeah.
it's already, you know, like
Is it like the stone oven
yeah,
thing?
like this, you know, like this thing, and you actually have the fire inside, and then you pull the pizza and move it, and then pull it out. If you have this electric oven, you're already not competing. So in my personal opinion, you know, like you can't even like don't start, you know.
So you probably have a mom that knows how to cook, right?
Yeah. Luckily, yeah, I have a very.
And your grandma probably makes the best, like, pasta on the pan.
To be honest, I will keep my mom as first. Like she's a really, really great cook. You know, like I really great. You know, like, and that's the thing. Like she's great in every, like, from like starters, first dishes, second dishes. You know, like dessert. It's like she's 360 degrees chef.
That's good. So next time your mom's here, invite us for dinner.
Okay.
Because just so the people probably cannot see this, but this is the first podcast we have with an audience. It's kind of special.
We didn't come here to watch you. We just come out here for
No, thank you.
That's what they all say. But oh yeah, okay. We got some serious stuff going on. Yeah, people know I smoke weed. I don't care. So what's your favorite Italian dish besides pizza?
Just get to me.
Best like. It's like if I'm in Italy, like if I would go to like Milan, for instance, and I go to a restaurant, what should I order, and why?
Carbonara.
Mm.
And why? It's because carbonara doesn't have cream, guys. It doesn't. In every other country I visited or I was living in, carbonara with cream, and it's eggs. It's not cream. It's eggs, guys. You know? So that's why, and that's the thing. Like for me, carbonara, it's really simple to do, but it's also really simple to screw. You know,
Yeah.
I screw many at the beginning. You know, like I remember once I invited the MC of the sound system I was playing in Barcelona, and I invited the MC to my place, and we were having lunch, and I prepared the carbonara, and I had this liquid egg, you know, like, and the guy was, you know, like taking, and I said, "What the hell is this?" You know, like I just moved out from my flat, so I didn't know how to cook yet. And that's the thing, and that's the thing, like that's you know, like when it's well done, it's the best dish in my opinion. So carbonara, yeah.
Yeah. Now I want to eat. I'm hungry. So anything else you want
Maybe
to?
you could rustle something up for us, Nicco.
Yeah, why not?
So anything else you want to talk about? Because we're going on for quite a while.
Yeah.
Jesus. 154 minutes. We're getting close to like Jannes.
Oh no, that's why I added because I know. No, that's it. Like, for me, 1 hour is the
Sweet spot.
yeah, because otherwise it will start to lose the audience basically. You know, like it's start to be too much.
Well, they will just start the beginning and then just
Exactly.
step out. Yeah.
So
Well, in that case, I would like to thank you for joining me
thank you.
and promote your new music thing that's coming out next week.
Okay, so you should put this on first. Yeah, so Friday will come up the new single, Elephant Zoo. And yeah, it's gonna be like the second of theoretically 3 single before the EP.
Okay.
And so it will be another instrumental track, basically electronic instrumental track. And that's actually what happened with the production. Like I was asking to singers to, you know, like to get involved for projects.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like tell me what you want to do and we can work together. And I just get tired to chase people. You know, like the thing is, if you're a singer, you know, and you don't produce your own beat, for example,
Mhm.
or your own music, you end up to buy things.
Yeah.
Okay, so I was, you know, like literally like addressing to singers and telling them, like, guys, what I love the most, literally, they should put this part on the first. But you know, what I love the most of being producer is that I'm free, finally free. You know, like I love any kind of music. You know, like I found myself listening to classical music. I grew up and loved punk music, funk, rock. I'm a huge fan of Billie Eilish. You know? Yeah.
Five.
So you know, like that's the thing. Like I really love music in you know, like in any kind. So what I find out of being producer, you know, what I love the most of being producer is like that. If today I wake up and I want to make a trap beat,
Yeah.
I will do a trap beat. And if tomorrow I'm still in the same mood, I will keep working on that. If tomorrow I will wake up and I want to have like a synth pop thing, I will work on that. You know, so I was at the beginning. My plan, it was like produce music for singers, and I really contact, you know, like this and that, and they were all yeah cool. But there's a thing. I mean, like man, you have to, if you want to do something serious, you have to work seriously.
Yeah,
You have to,
definitely.
you have to meet, you have to record and record and record and record and record, you know, like until you have the best version.
That's literally how my music gets there as well. Like I just work on something and then I'm like, okay, I guess this is finished now. Unless like the more than 100 tracks I have on my hard drive that are never being finished, because I started with something and it doesn't do that thing, it's not gonna be a thing. And then I'm also the idiot that does not delete it, right? You have
Yeah.
like folders up and folders up and folders of unfinished shit, and I think you have like 5 songs out. You know, it's like,
Yeah.
because sometimes it just clicks. You're like, yeah, okay, I got something. But
Yeah.
most of the time, that's just not happening. It's just an idea, and you're like, okay, maybe move on from this and try something different. You know?
Yeah, that's happened to me as well. Like I have some tracks that I get stuck with, and at some point I forget about it, and then I somehow remember, and then you know, like it's smooth. Some odors that they're just there that I don't want to delete because you never
Sentimental
know.
value or something. Yeah.
No. It's just that you never know. You know, like eventually you can use this 8 second in this audio track because eventually what you did there it's good, but
Yeah.
it didn't came up in anything. It didn't ended up in anything. And it's a audio track that I, you know, like I wasn't even planning, and you know, like I'm working on a single that I finished actually mastering today, and it came out nowhere. You know, like I was there working on something different. Then I said, okay, you know, it's basically there. So I save it, and I was still in the mood. So I didn't close the software. You know, I was just there, and like why, you know, like 6 hours later, I had the track. You know, like then of course, like the day after, I start to polish it. You know, like to nail it. I mean, this and that. But the main track was there, you know, and so at the beginning I was basically, you know, like my idea was like I want to be a producer, you know, so I want to work with singers and you know like help them to release a single, to release an album, whatever it is. And I saw, you know, like many people, you know, like claiming that music is their life and they can't dedicate shit about
A few minutes.
exactly, you know, like it's, man, I mean, like being a musician, it's not posting a picture on Instagram with an instrument that makes you a musician.
No, it's like
It's
making music. Yes.
exactly. So you know, like at some point I just get tired to chase the singers, you know, and so I said, okay, you know what, I have this track, it works instrumental, I will drop it, you know, and I did. And now the new single that it will came up the 25th of September, it's another instrumental one. And then, you know, like I like the third one that will be released, it will be instrumental as well. And then, you know, like I have a project that I won't talk about it now because it's just at the beginning. So, you know, like I don't like to talk about something that eventually it won't happen, but I have nice feelings about it. Yeah. And the funny thing is that it's with a person that actually is not a singer. You know, like it's not that he's a person that claim herself being an artist or a singer or anything. You know, like she just, I remember that I released a track on SoundCloud, not even on Spotify. And this person texts me like, dude, I love this track. I would like to sing on it. And I said, that's great because I would need a singer on that. Yeah. But to be honest, you know, like this, the thing is I always wanted to do something with this person because she has the image of, I mean, like, she has the image of being in some cover, you know, like that. She has this, you know, like personality, exactly. She's already a star, you know. Yeah. And so I, you know, like a week ago, I started this track, and I said, "Fuck, this is for this person." And I contact her like, "Hey, now I have a mic on the studio, and you know, like I have this track that I believe it works for you." And so this person came over, and actually she loved the track, So and that's the thing. Like we also recording the vocals for that track that like I released back then, and but yeah, I like that. It's so yeah, that's the thing. Like the 25th, I will release this new single. It's and hopefully, I mean, like in the future, I will get some singer that like want to do something for real,
Yeah,
because
not just saying they want it, but actually put the work in.
exactly,
actually do it, yeah.
exactly, and in like in the, I mean, like in what it means. I mean, like it's. I have a lot of people, like for example, nowadays the genre that is defining the charts and everything is the trap.
Yeah.
Okay. And the thing like that, I met a lot of people in this month that they want to switch on the trap music because they believe that it's easy to do. It's auto tune. That's what they say. It's auto tune, nonsense lyrics, and blah blah blah.
I'm sorry, auto tune is really hard
To use. But besides of that, let's say that auto tune is the easiest things to use, and everyone can.
I mean, I think it's overused, but it's not easy to use correctly. I mean, like the first auto-tune we heard was like "Believe" by Cher, right? Talk about how to use an effect correctly. That song is fucking kicking, man. Still to this day, like,
Yeah.
holy crap.
No, but the thing is, I to be honest, I like this production where the autotune is overused. Like this, like this,
Well,
but
I just overdo it. Like,
exactly,
just like,
exactly. But the thing is, even if let's say the autotune will be the easiest thing to use, and the trap lyric will be the easiest things to write down. I mean, like, these guys were in the studio. These guys were there, and it's not that they record one version and that's. I mean, like that's the thing. Like, what you see is just the final product, and is like this heavy
everything that went before, yeah.
exactly. But and this is what people is not getting nowadays. Like that they believe that making a track, like trap track, for example, it would be and for example, that's something that I really faced with like with what I do. The thing is, can you believe that not everyone likes Beatles? Can you believe that?
I do, because I don't.
Okay. No.
I mean, I respect their music, but for me, like, it's like, yeah, they're really famous because they were one of the first big bands in pop music, right?
I love
and
the
they made
Beatles.
a lot of good tracks, but some of the tracks that are so famous, I'm like, no, they're just not for me. I'm not saying it's not good music. It's just not my taste. And that's what some people should get. You can appreciate a piece of music and not like it very much.
Yeah. No, for me,
There's just no personal connection, It's like,
for me, the Beatles is like the reason why I start to love music. Like I passed from hating music, literally. I was hating music until I listened to Sgt. Pepper's from the Beatles, the album, and I fell in love with music.
well, that's a good album, though. Yeah, that's good.
So I can't be
like
objective
as a producer and recording engineer, I love the Beatles in that respect because they were like the first to utilize the technology in the studios from any band before, right? But like some of the songs, I'm just like, it's just kind of like
the early tracks were,
repetitive,
yeah, the early tracks again, and they were like, she loves me, yeah. But then
but that's also kind of lovely.
But that's what I love, like that's what I love on an artist. If you take Beatles, they start to make this kind of very simple songs, and they ended up with like they recorded Sgt. Pepper's or Abbey Road or like the White Album, where like they weren't that easy, on the composition, on the recording process and everything. Considering that back then there was no computer.
No,
they were recording on tape,
Yeah.
So
and recording on tape is shit.
Exactly.
Like everyone that tells me, it's like, oh, I wish we could go back to recording on tape. It's like, do you know how often tape machines break?
exactly. But
Like every 30 minutes, it just fucking runs itself into shit, and you
But-
can start from the beginning.
exactly, that's the thing. You
Yeah.
have to start again. I mean, like if you
Yeah.
do a mistake, you have to start over. You know,
Yeah.
like it's so yeah. There's
It's not
all-
like I select this and I delete it, and can you play that little thing again?
exactly.
Yeah.
Or you know, like you take this part and
Yeah.
plug it there and so on. So, you know, like I don't care if you know, like you listen the track and you say, I don't like it. You know, like that's the thing. It's something that you
Well,
know.
it's subjective. you know?
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know already that when you will deliver a track, there will people that will like it, people who don't like it, people that will be neutral, people that will love it. You know, like
Mhm.
can be whatever. Now, what I really learning how to deal with, you know, like to don't
Mm.
take it, you know, like to don't get mad at it. It's like when people start to tell you, I would have done it in this way, I would have done it in that way,
Yeah.
I would.
Uh,
What is your job? You know, that's the thing. I mean, like,
the thing is, like, it's like I would have done it this way. It's like, okay, but what did you do?
exactly. I mean, like, that's the thing.
And
Like,
then
you
they-
all
they-
respect. You were partying while I was working my ass hard, you know. And then you can tell, after I did everything, after I started with, you know, like, my usually, you know, like, I start with setting up the tempo.
Mhm.
Because I already have in mind a line, so I'm just looking the right tempo, or just because okay, let's make a track on. I don't know. Lately, I was working on 120. Let's make 105. You know, so let's put the effort. Let's try to see what you know. So you have like tick, tick, tick,
Yeah.
tock, tick, 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 tock,
Yeah.
and you know, so I start from scratch and literally do everything by my own. You know, like drums, the
Yeah.
synths, the bass, and everything. Then I'm mixing, then I'm mastering, getting paranoid about the masters. You know, so, you know, like usually I listen through the speakers at home, then on the studio headphones, and then I put it on my phone so I
And
can put
listen
it
to it,
on
yeah.
on my headphones and on the Bluetooth speaker
Yeah.
and you know on the mobile phone itself.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
like it sounds good. I believe so. Then I send it to few people.
Mhm.
I don't know, like my brother, my partner, my best friend. Like, dude, don't tell me if you like it or not.
Just
Just
listen
tell
to it,
me
yeah.
how it sounds. Does it sound good? Does it sound bad? Does it sound like it's home recorded? No, dude, it's you know like it sounds good. Okay, you know, and then you're telling me how you will do it.
Even though you didn't do anything.
You know, that's the thing. Like, dude, what is your shit? You know, like, what is your I did this and this is better than what you did? Then I would respect. I would really like put off my
Yeah.
hat and it says,
Like,
dude,
Yeah.
teach me.
like how many songs did you release?
But-
Like, it was like I would have done this. It's like, how many songs do you have out? They're like 0 because I never create music. So it's like you don't even know what you're talking about.
Exactly. You know, that's the thing. I mean, like, I really don't care if you don't. I mean, you can tell me in my face, dude. Literally, I don't understand this. I don't like this music. Fine. I mean, like, that's the thing. You know,
Music
like,
is
we are
subjective,
7
so
billion
yeah.
in this world. I mean, like, that's the thing. Like, people will like it, people will not like it. You know, like, I'm the best critics of myself. You know, I have tracks that I prefer more than others. So that's totally normal. Other thing is tell people how they will do it when they're not even in the business.
Yeah.
That's something, dude, that you know, like,
That's just a level of arrogance that is annoying. Like,
I don't know. I think that they don't even see it, you know, like I found myself in the past, you know, like that's the thing. That then I learned how to shut the fuck up, you know. But I don't know, like I was going to an exhibition and seeing a painting, you know, and
I could have done that.
you know? And that's the thing, you know, like then I was thinking about it and like,
But it's like, yeah, you didn't.
I know. I mean, like, I don't even know how to handle a pencil.
Yeah.
So I don't know how to do it better, to be honest. You know, like, it's just I don't know, like, a flat gray thing with a red dot.
Yeah.
I couldn't do that. I mean, like, I will, it will look really
And then again, you didn't do it. They did it.
exactly,
So, like,
exactly. So even that, you know, like, okay, at least they did it. They spend their
Yeah.
time. They spend their energies. You know, like. it didn't. They did. So you know, like that already gives them you know, like 100 points that you don't have, and the right eventually to tell that again. You know, like if I will, like if among those people, because that's the thing. Like there's a difference between people that do and do not. You know, like I found people that are in the business, and eventually they were giving me advices. Like, dude, next time try this other way of compression, you know, like or trying this. Then you see that actually, you know, like they're giving you constructive feedbacks, you know.
Yeah.
And then you can tell them like, okay, or otherwise that's what you wanted to achieve, so you can explain them like, no, that was what I wanted to achieve, but thanks anyway, you know, like. And then you see the people that don't do, and they just drop, you know, like this generic, I would have done it better. Okay, so here you go, you know, like do it.
Yeah, I'll see you when you release your EP, and see how
No,
what that sounds like.
do my track, literally, like do my track, but not that I will pass you my file, you know, my project. You can do it.
Just do it from scratch.
Just do it. Do it and do it better, please. If you will do it better, I will put it off, and I will give you all the, you know, like, I won't claim any rights or anything.
It's literally what happened to the Hurt cover by Johnny Cash. Johnny Cash covered Nine Inch Nails, and he played Hurt, and Trent Reznor is like, you have the rights to the song. It's like, you deserved it because you did it better than I did, and that's impressive. It's like,
man, I mean, like, well, about covers, I mean, like, I still believe that the best example is the man who sold the world.
oh, Nirvana.
Nirvana, I mean, like,
Jesus.
I already like the Bowie, I mean, the original version.
Yeah, that's a good
but
song.
man,
yeah.
like the way Nirvana did it was like, and that's the thing, like when you, I mean, like you had someone like Bowie affirming that their version is better. I mean, like, you know, and that's the thing, like I don't even think that they actually did it with the purpose of showing off, you know, like I can do this.
No,
better, you know,
like Kurt just really liked the song. I wanted to play it. Yeah.
and then it came out that they did it. It's the better version, you know, like it's the best version actually of that track.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I like it. But I think we're gonna draw to a close.
Yeah, but I really believe that this party should come further. I mean, like, it's the most musical part we had, but it's our podcast. So.
Maybe I can make some timestamps on it. I don't know. I have to investigate the YouTube opportunities, but it should be fun. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you for having me here.
And next guest, drop a message below. Don't forget to give a thumbs up and subscribe and all that shit. It's not like I'm making money off my YouTube channel. I have like 14 subscribers. So, but thank you for watching, and see you next time. Thank you very much.
Ciao.